feel like making that play right now. You make the play.
It's the world of soccer at your fingertips.
How mouth-watering is that?
SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car, and streaming on the SiriusXM app. This
slams the ball to right field, way back, way gone!
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second to throw. In time!
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's rivalry weekend at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays welcome in a rival from the past. Their mid-'80s foe, the Detroit Tigers, are in town, owning the best record in the American League. The Blue Jays try to get above 500. The Tigers try to pass the Dodgers for the best record in all of baseball. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight on a beautiful night in downtown Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer tonight, Tom Young and Derek Brandeo are our technical directors. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Hanwell and Woodstock, New Brunswick. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Pitching matchup tonight features a pair of starters looking to get back on track after slow starts to the season. For Bowden Francis, he's coming off a solid outing against Seattle. We'll see if he can build on that one after ups and downs before it. On the other side, Jack Flaherty of Detroit really struggled in his last outing and has not had a lot of success over the last couple weeks. We'll see who has the edge tonight when the Blue Jays and Tigers face off in just a couple of minutes. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming at sportsnet.ca on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL free topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch three-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today, and your car can be gone tomorrow.
Of all the things that Timber Mart can lend a hand to build, community ranks among the most important. And with the Timber Mart Local Leaders Initiative, we strive to recognize those dedicated to making their hometowns a better place to live, work, and play. From now to June 25th, you can vote to select our grand prize winner. They'll receive a $10,000 grant to support their outstanding initiative as Timber Mart's Local Leader of the Year. To vote, visit local-leaders.com. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Sports are all about moments.
One of the most incredible, miraculous finishes we have ever seen.
And you can hear them all.
He scores! Alex Ovechkin! There's a new goal-scoring champion!
As they happen.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani, a sayonara swing!
Live in the moment.
Rory McIlroy on his knees. He's won the Masters.
With live sports on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app. The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite team. Sportsnet Radio Network.
Tony's an open book. He has been since day one, and I'm not afraid to let you know how he's feeling. So certain things that he's working on, that he's continued to, he's grinding on in the cage offensively. And, I think just my message to him is just stick with it. There's going to be a time where he's carrying us and he's really, helping us produce a lot of runs. So he's going to be a big part of this year and years to come. And he understands that. I think just trying to give him a little bit of a breather right now.
That was Blue Jays manager John Schneider talking about Anthony Santander, who will not be in the lineup today as the Blue Jays welcome the Tigers to town for the first of 3 games at Rogers Center. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. And Chris, this is the first of 6 games in a row at home against really tough competition. First Detroit, then San Diego. Detroit tied for the most wins in baseball with the Dodgers. The Padres just behind the Dodgers. It is not going to be easy for Toronto over the next 6.
No, it's not going to be easy, but for us, for broadcasters, these are the teams that you want to see. Of course, the Blue Jays probably don't feel the same way. They don't want to see 6 straight ball games against top-tier talent like the Detroit Tigers and the San Diego Padres, but I'm really looking forward to see this Tigers lineup. A lot of young players in there that are very, very good and finally starting to play well. We've seen them over the last couple of years, Riley Green in particular. They kind of looked okay last year, but they're really hitting their stride now.
We'll get to that Tigers lineup and the Blue Jays lineup that does not feature Anthony Santander in just a second. But first, let's take a look at the Bet365 standings. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19+ play responsibly, Ontario only. Yankees open today 25-18 atop the division. The Red Sox 22-23, 4 back. The Blue Jays are 4 back as well at 21-22. Rays are 20-23, 5 back. And the Orioles 15-27, 9.5 back of the division lead. The Detroit Tigers 29-15, best record in the American League, 3.5 up for the division lead in the Central over Cleveland. For that Tigers lineup managed by A.J. Hinch, take it away, Chris.
Well, leading off for the Tigers is Kerry Carpenter. He's in right field. At second base is Gleyber Torres. He'll bat second. Batting third is Colt Keith. He's DHing tonight. In left field, in the cleanup spot, is Riley Green. Batting fifth is Spencer Torkelson. He's at first base. At third base, batting sixth is Zach McKinstry. Batting seventh is Dylan Dingler. He's behind the plate tonight. Batting eighth is Trey Sweeney. He's at shortstop. And in center field, batting ninth is Javi Baez. On the mound is righty Jack Flaherty. For the Toronto Blue Jays, leading off is Bo Bichette. He's at shortstop. Batting second is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He'll be at first base tonight. And in center field, batting third is Dalton Varsho. In the cleanup spot is George Springer. He's DHing. Behind the dish, batting fifth is Alejandro Kirk. Batting sixth is Addison Barger. He's at third base. In right field, batting seventh is Nathan Lucas. Batting eighth is Michael Stefanik. He's at second base. And batting ninth is Jonathan Clase. He's in left field tonight for the Blue Jays. On the mound is righty Bowden Francis.
For Bowden Francis, this is start 9 on the season. 2-5 with a 5.40 ERA. The 29-year-old is 6'5", 220 pounds, from the capital of Florida, Tallahassee, Florida. And he gets the ball back after it goes around the horn, palming up the baseball, getting set to make this start against Detroit. Blue Jays in their City Connect uniforms tonight. It's a City Connect Friday. So dark uniforms with neon blues and reds across it. And the Tigers in the all-gray outfits today, jersey and pants. Leading off, left-handed hitter Kerry Carpenter steps in, a little half swing, and he brings the bat above his left shoulder. Francis winds and offers. First pitch cut on and missed. Strike one. Time of the first pitch today, 7:08 Eastern. Shade across the diamond at Rogers Center, but a sunny day in Toronto, 23 degrees. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a pop-up, foul back behind the plate, out of play, 0-2.
Ben, I have to admit, I was fooled again by the daytime temperature. It is chilly up in the booth right now. I should have brought a jacket.
You always assume it's chilly.
You always bring a jacket. I never bring a jacket. You always look cozy, and I don't.
Well, at least it's a little warm right now. Some sunlight down the left field line, 200 level. Flashes of it on the infield. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carpenter, the right fielder today for the Tigers, batting .295 on the year, mid-800 OPS, 9 home runs. The 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Francis just flipped over a curveball. The mix for the righty is 4-seamer splitter, slider, curve, and occasional sinker. Kicks away some dirt from the rubber, now settles in. Glove at his waistline. He winds and offers. Swing and a liner foul, bouncing into the camera well just beyond the first base dugout.
In the second half of his last game against Seattle, he really pitched well. He really hit his stride, and the reason for that is he was just locating his stuff better. The stuff was really no different. He was just making better pitches in big counts.
Next pitch, check swing, appeal down to third, and it's going to be called a strike, so it's strike 3 against Kerry Carpenter. Marvin Hudson, the crew chief, said that Carpenter did go around and there's one out.
And just like that pitch right there, he got on top of the split finger. He made it look like a strike, and then it dove out of the strike zone. Kerry Carpenter just swung over the top of it.
Home plate umpire tonight, Tripp Gibson, Ryan Blakeney at first, Steven Jashinsky at second, and Marvin Hudson at third. One out, and the pitch to Gleyber Torres. Outside with a breaking ball, ball 1. Right-handed hitting Torres in his first year in Detroit, over from the New York Yankees. The pitch. Called a strike.
I'm going to be honest, I saw him today hitting BP, and I didn't even recognize him with that big beard.
How would he know? Now he could have the beard with the Yankees, but ends up growing out the customary I just left the Yankees facial hair, thick mustache and beard for the right-handed hitter, who swings at the 1-1 and fouls it off 1-2.
Pretty good fastball there, 94 at the top of the strike zone. He's hitting his spots so far early on.
You have to do that against Torres. He's had a really nice start to the year, batting .289, 5 doubles, 5 homers. The 1-2 pitch. Hit on a hop, blocked at first base by Guerrero, who goes over to the bag and steps on it for the second out. That was a spinning soft liner that bounced in front of Vladdy, and almost like a catcher, he got down on a knee and just let it hit him right in the stomach.
How about that play? Just hit him right in the stomach, like you said. He's rubbing his belly right now. That can't feel good.
Guerrero stretching out a little bit at first base, twisting his hips. As the number 3 hitter in the Tiger order, Colt Keith comes up. The pitch. Called strike. Sophomore season in the big leagues for Colt Keith. DHing today, batting left. He's a .222 hitter, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. The 0-1. Curveball froze him, strike 2.
Pretty good curveball right there. Haven't seen a good one like that in a while. Hopefully that's a good sign.
Prior to adding the splitter last year, the curve was the main secondary for Bowden Francis. Righty's 0-2. Fouled back into the netting. Elevated the fastball right near the Detroit across the chest of Colt Keith. But Keith went after it and just got a piece.
Did you see what Bowden did there?
What did he do?
Check the radar gun after he threw that pitch. I love it.
Do you like that?
I
feel
love
like there's
when you
mixed
peek
opinions.
Well, when you reach back for a little extra, you want to see what you got.
Another 0-2. Just outside. That pitch could have gone either way. Appeared to clip the strike box on the Sportsnet TV broadcast, but they call it a ball.
I think everybody on the diamond right now was about to walk back to the dugout, including Colt Keith.
Right on left, here's the 1-2. Fastball, that one, strike 3, looking 95 on the inside edge. 2 strikeouts and a perfect first for Bowden Francis. No score, Blue Jays and Tigers. Bo Bichette to hit against Jack Flaherty next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Which Looney Dogger are you? Do you approach Tuesdays with swagger and style? You could be a Rizzy Glizzy. Maybe you're an architect stacking your Looney Dogs up high. Do you walk into the ballpark with the confidence of an MVD? Then you're the most valuable dogger. This season at Rogers Center, every Tuesday home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. No matter which Looney Dogger you are, you'll have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around the ballpark. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Every Tuesday home game. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Breaking news coming at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Jose Berrios, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Jack Flaherty on the hill. Bottom of the first inning, Blue Jays and Tigers. No score, and the right-hander looking in at Bo Bichette. Wiggles the glove, winds and offers, and the first pitch in there, strike one. Blue Jays and Tigers on right now. If you're listening to us on sportsnet.ca or the app rather than terrestrial radio, we're going to switch over at 7:30. A 1. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. So again, if you're streaming rather than on terrestrial radio, go to the alternate stream if you want to keep listening to the Blue Jays on sportsnet.ca or the app. Maple Leafs coverage begins on the main stream at 7:30. 1-1 pitch, hit foul to the right, 1-2. Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Dalton Varsho to hit for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first inning against Jack Flaherty, 29-year-old, 6'4" right-hander from Los Angeles. The 1-2, bounce to the plate. Flaherty 1-5 this year with a 4.61 ERA in 8 starts. Outside of Tarek Skubal last year, he was the best Tigers starter in the first half. Signed with them in free agency, was traded to the Dodgers, won a World Series, and signed back with the Tigers this year. His 2-2. Swing and a rope, fair ball down the left field line, bouncing into the corner. Bichette around first. He'll get into a jog into second. He's got a leadoff double.
How about that swing from Bo Bichette? Just keeps staying hot. A little hanging slider from Jack Flaherty, and he ripped that thing into the corner for a leadoff double.
Jack Flaherty coming off a start where he gave up 5 earned runs in 3 innings, and it was Texas getting to him early that really threw the start off of its balance for Jack Flaherty. A leadoff homer in that game and 2 runs in the first inning. Blue Jays would love to replicate that. Here's the pitch to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Taken all the way, he takes low, ball 1.
I was watching some film of Jack Flaherty earlier on, and I was trying to figure out why he's not doing as well as obviously the Tigers would have hoped, and he's just leaving a lot of pitches over the middle of the plate. That's really the main issue.
1-0 pitch, called a strike, 1-1.
And he did exactly that to Bo Bichette. That slider was right down the middle, a little spinning slider, and Bo Bichette just hammered that thing.
I thought even in the Texas start, some of the outs were pitches over the middle, a couple nice catches in the outfield. The 1-1. Called a strike, fastball right down the middle, 1-2.
I mean, that's not where he wanted that fastball, I can guarantee you that. They were trying to go away, but that 4-seam fastball at 92.5 miles an hour was right down the middle. A little surprising that Vladimir Guerrero didn't swing the bat.
From the stretch, Flaherty's pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pitch in the dirt, so Vlad's going to jog down to first. Throw from the fair side for Dylan Dinkler, and there's 1 out. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Bo Bichette on second base with 1 out. And in the 3 spot in the lineup today is Dalton Varsho. No Anthony Santander, as we talked about off the top of the broadcast, so Varsho fills that void. Flaherty set, looking at Bo Bichette. Righty offers. Called strike at the knees.
Little 24-hour breather for Santander.
Yeah, they called it somewhat of a mental rest day for Santander, who was going well, then had that shoulder injury, or was starting to go well, had the shoulder injury, hasn't really put it together since. 1 pitch is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I hate to be that guy, but I feel like that makes it worse.
Maybe.
When everybody's talking about this guy taking a breather, a little mental breather.
The 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2.
You're sitting in that dugout stewing, wanting to grab a bat, wanting to come up to the plate, especially against a guy like Jack Flaherty, who really hasn't had a good season.
This was something, though, that was decided over a couple conversations between John Schneider and Anthony Santander, so they were on the same page. With one out, the 1-2. Varsho takes upstairs, ball one. By the way, welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer today. Tom Young and Derek Brandeo are technical directors. Flaherty tucks the ball into his glove, holds his glove in his set off his chest, and the 2-2 is hit high and hooking down the right field line into the seats foul. It's still 2-2. Flaherty just flipped over a curveball to Varsho, and when he's on, that might be his best pitch. His fastball is going to live in the low to mid 90s. He throws a slider, a curve, and then every once in a while a changeup and a sinker. Longtime Cardinals sets again, slightly closed off. His 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. 94, top of the zone, and on the outer edge, 2 down.
Well, Dylan Dingler pointed out at Jack Flaherty after he threw that pitch, letting him know that's exactly where he wanted it. That's the pitch right there. And Jack Flaherty's one of those guys. He's not going to overpower you, but he's a very good pitcher. Has like you said, a 5-pitch mix, throwing strikes with all 5 of those pitches. If he's on, he's tough.
After giving up the double, a pair of strikeouts pitched to George Springer is low ball one. When he's at his best, he's all over the strike zone. Typically a guy that doesn't walk very many hitters, gets ahead pretty often. 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. And I guess in a way, walks aren't really the problem. He gave up a career-high 4 homers last time he pitched. That was really the problem. Leaving pitches over the plate. Runner on second, 2 outs in the 2-0. Springer hits it on the ground to second base. Picked up on the run by Gleyber Torres, who throws over to first to end the inning. Blue Jays with no runs. They strand the leadoff double by Bo Bichette, and it's scoreless after an inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sports.
NASCAR's biggest stars,
Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano,
Kyle Larson, return to one of its most historic tracks.
Jeff Gordon wins the final race at North Wilkesboro
with $1 million on the line.
$1 million, baby! Woo!
It's the NASCAR All-Star Race from North Wilkesboro Speedway.
He wins the $1 million.
Sunday nights, 8 Eastern on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90, in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Say goodbye, home run Aaron Judge.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
This is Dave LaGreca, creator of the biggest pro wrestling show on the planet, Busted Open. Don't miss myself and my Hall of Fame cast and crew as we break down every story in and out of the ring and talk to the top names in the business, like the legend himself, The Undertaker.
I'm actually glad to be on a real show.
Catch Busted Open live every day from 9 to noon Eastern on SiriusXM Fight Nation, channel 156, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
That radio network.
It's the second inning, presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet on popular markets like hits, home runs, and total bases. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Riley Green, all-star for the Tigers last year, leading off the second inning. No score between the Blue Jays and the Tigers. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Bowden Francis into the wind, the pitch. Green lifts it to left center field. Going back, Clase and Varsho. Varsho at the track, leaps at the wall. It's gone. That ball just kept going and going off the bat of Riley Green. Varsho looked like he started coming in initially and then leapt at the wall as it went out for a home run to make it 1-0 Detroit.
Well, that tells you just how powerful Riley Green is. I thought that was a routine fly ball to Dalton Varsho in left center. And like you said, that ball just kept going and going. What a big, powerful dude. He's really hitting his stride this season.
His 11th home run of the year. Hit a first pitch curveball out to start the second. 1-0 Detroit. Pitch to Spencer Torkelson. And it hit him. Got him on the left arm, maybe the left hand. He lost his helmet, spun away, and was shaking out that left arm. Taking a second here to get rid of his elbow and shin protection. And now A.J. Hinch and the training staff is going to walk and talk with Torkelson down the first base line. Oh, I think it got him on the hand. It almost hit his left tricep, but it just snuck around it and got him maybe wrist or top of that left hand for Spencer Torkelson, the first baseman.
Yeah, that's not where you want to hit. It's almost like you wished it got you in the deltoid there or the tricep and missed that hand. That hand is really fragile.
Good news is Torkelson staying in the ball game, taking his lead off first base, and Bowden Francis trying to rein it back in after a home run and a hit batter and 2 pitches to start this inning. He deals to Zach McKinstry. Called strike. McKinstry, a utility man, really a super utility guy, playing third base today. Left-handed hitter batting .285 on this season. Has 8 doubles, 3 triples, and a homer. The 0-1 outside.
I was reading an article a couple of days ago, and they had a list of the top utility guys in baseball, and I believe Zach McKinstry was on that list.
I mean, he could arguably be at the top of that list. A huge breakout surprise on a team full of them in Detroit. 1-1. Low. 2 balls, 1 strike. McKinstry's hitting .285 this year, getting on base at a .371 clip. In his career, he's hit .227 with a .295 on base percentage. The 2-1. Popped up, third base side, foul. Barger into foul territory, onto the side warning track, makes the catch, stutter stepping just in front of the sidewall, and there's 1 out. In many ways, though, Zach McKinstry kind of emblematic of what the Detroit Tigers are all about. They don't have, as Kevin Barker says, an aircraft carrier. There isn't one guy like an Aaron Judge on this team, although there are some guys having great years. Everyone is producing in this lineup. 1 through 9 all have been above average hitters this year. Pitch to Dylan Dingler is roped up the middle, a 1-hopper into center for a base hit. Charging hard around second, Torkelson hits the brakes, heads back to second, and the Tigers have runners on first and second with only 1 out.
Well, even Dylan Dingler, their catcher, he has 4 homers, 16 RBIs, now above 270 on the season. I mean, those are pretty good numbers for a catcher.
A backup catcher at that that's been called on to starting duties with Jake Rogers getting hurt. Reminder, by the way, if you're streaming this broadcast right now and you want to continue to listen to the Blue Jays, go to the alternate stream on sportsnet.ca or the app. If you're on terrestrial radio, don't worry. And if you're streaming, Maple Leafs coverage starts at 7:30. First pitch to Trey Sweeney. Left-handed hitting shortstop takes low. Ball 1. One nothing Tigers. Solo homer to start this inning. 1 out, runners on first and second. The 1-0. Fouled back into the screen. Trey Sweeney playing in his second major league season. Batting .266, .720 OPS, 4 home runs. Was a big piece at one point in the Yankee system, in the Dodgers system. Sent over to the Tigers last deadline. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Great splitter from Francis. Fell off the table right in front of home plate. It's 1-2.
That's the pitch right there. Let's see if he can get a ground ball here and the Blue Jays can get 2 big outs.
Before he can throw the next pitch, Sweeney asks for time, tucks the bat into his left armpit, adjusts his batting gloves, and now steps back in.
By the way, Sweeney's 16 for his last 37. He is on a tear.
The 1-2. Chopped foul right side. This is a guy really still growing into being a major leaguer, just his 79th major league game. He was actually brought over in the trade for Jack Flaherty, who then signed back with the Tigers. Detroit has both in the lineup. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Elevated the heater. Sweeney swings through it, and there are 2 down.
That's a great pitch right there. You could tell that Sweeney was thinking another split finger below the strike zone, but when Bowden Francis is good, he is so good at elevating that four-seam fastball. It's a big pitch right there.
Couldn't have hit the spot any better. Alejandro Kirk didn't have to move the glove. Now we'll see where Kirk sets up as Javi Baez steps in. Center fielder for the Tigers. Francis offers. Baez fouls it back on a fastball elevated. Looked like the runners might have been off on the pitch. It's 0-1.
Are you used to that yet? Javi Baez, center fielder?
Close. Not even close. I mean, this is one of the premier middle infielders in the game for the better part of a decade. Struggles in a couple years with Detroit. Is hitting better and fielding better in center field. The 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. A couple years ago, this wouldn't be shocking, but it is right now. Javi Baez batting .309 this year, .842 OPS, 8 doubles and 5 home runs. He's driven in 27 while hitting 8 or 9 most days. The 1-1. Swing and a miss down to Aeneas. He was way out in front on the curveball. 1-2.
I wonder whose decision that is to keep him at 8 or 9. I'm wondering if Javi Baez is saying, hey, leave me here. I feel good here. I'm comfortable here. Don't mess with this.
I got a note on that in a sec. We'll see if the inning continues. 2 outs, 2 on. The 1-2. Hit back to the mound. Nice stop by Francis on a hop. He slings it over to first, and we'll talk more about Javi Baez next time he comes to the plate. 1 run for the Tigers, a leadoff homer by Riley Green. But after another hit, Francis strands a pair. It's 1-0 Detroit, middle of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL 3-topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Verdugo for his 7th strikeout.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Big cheer for Alejandro Kirk at Rogers Center as the Blue Jays catcher leads off the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 for the Detroit Tigers with Jack Flaherty walking back up the hill. Righty flips the ball out of his dark glove into his bare hand, stretches out his arms, and now puts his hands together. He kicks and offers, and Kirk lifts the ball out to right field. Going back, Carpenter calls for it just in front of the track and makes the catch off to his left. 1 out. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays had a big scoring chance in the first with a leadoff double by Bo Bichette, but since then, Jack Flaherty's retired 4 in a row.
I thought that ball was hit better than Riley Green's home run for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, if you weren't with us in the top of the second, truthfully, neither of us thought that ball was getting out. I'll have to ask Dalton Varsha tomorrow. I don't think he thought that ball was getting out, but it's the difference in the game. Pitch to Addison Barger. Called a strike, 0-1.
I think after he climbed the fence and was walking away from the fence, it almost looked like he had a stunned look on his face.
I'll have to go back and look at it maybe after this inning. I thought he stepped in initially. 0-1. Fouled off and then rebounded off the bat of Nathan Lucas down the line. 0-2. Addison Barger hit that so off the end of the bat it went almost straight left at Nathan Lucas, who maybe was having fun, maybe in an act of self-defense, hit the ball away. You don't usually get live reps in the on-deck circle. Oh, that wasn't going to hit him. I think he was just doing that for fun. 0-2 count to Barger with 1 out. Flaherty's pitch. Check swing, pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I hate to be a downer, but I remember when Logan Morrison was with the Marlins. This might have been like 2012-ish. He was standing in the on-deck circle just like this, and he got hit by a foul ball.
1-2 is roped foul. And into the netting down the line, 1-2 still.
I believe he got hit in the face and a huge welt on his cheek. So, fun and games, sure. That ball wasn't really hit all that hard. Nathan Lucas was able to stick the bat out and make contact with it. But if that ball's hit any harder, that's a scary situation.
For sure. Good news is everyone's okay.
Good news.
Good news. Only issue is that on that last swing, it looks like Addison Barger broke his bat. He's got a new piece of lumber as he heads back out in a 1-2 count. 1-0 for the Tigers. Bottom of the second. Nobody on with 1 out. Infield shifted to the first base side of the diamond. Here's the 1-2. Fouled right back, headed in our direction. It's going to drop a little bit short into the seats.
I got to get longer arms. We've had a lot of those ones that drop just short. I could reach out and grab it.
What are you, 6'4"? You got pretty long arms.
Ben, I'm 6'5", all right?
Oh, sorry.
Quit taking inches away from me.
1-2 pitch, skip to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Addison Barger, 6 foot, 215 pounds. Bit of a smile on his face as the left-handed hitter steps back in, taps the plate, and gets into an open stance. Just has his toes on the ground in the lead right foot. 2-2. Swing and a fly ball out to left. Fading toward foul territory seats, and it's going to drop out of play, ricocheting off his seat. Back onto the field of play, still 2-2.
That was a tough pitch, right on the black on the outside part of the plate. Addison Barger doing a good job just staying alive. It seems like Jack Flaherty is hitting his spots today.
He did on that pitch,
which is something he hasn't done for the majority of this season.
2-2 again. Low ball 3. Flaherty 27 pitches into his start. He threw 30 pitches in the first inning of his last start, and only 15 of them were strikes. Today, 17 strikes to 10 balls. Into the wind, the 3-2. Rolled over foul off to the right. Hit his spot there, a curveball right on the outside corner, and Addison Barger, very measured here with 2 strikes, has fought off a number of tough pitches.
That's a tough pitch in a 3-2 count. You're expecting something hard. You're probably expecting a 4-seam fastball, and then Jack Flaherty's able to flip that pitch in there for a strike, and Addison Barger was smart enough to just foul it off.
Another payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Flipping the bat away with a little bit of confidence. Nice walk there from Addison Barger with 1 out.
That might have been his most impressive at-bat this season. I know he's had a lot of good at-bats recently, but he took a tough pitch there, 3-2. He fouled off some tough pitches, and he looked comfortable in that 2-strike approach. That was the most impressive thing for me.
Now he'll take his leadoff first. Nathan Lucas is up. The pitch. Called strike. Infield for the Tigers mostly stays where it was for Barger, another left-handed hitter. Everyone shifted to the first base side except for the third baseman, Zach McKinstry. He's in and closer to the line in case Lucas bunts. The 0-1. Swing and a line drive right center field. That ball is caught! My goodness! Diving catch, Javier Baez. Throwback to first, doubles off Addison Barger. And Javi Baez has started one of the best double plays you will see. Ranging toward right center field, he went full stretch to make the play and had the presence of mind to throw out Barger to end the inning. No runs, no hits for the Blue Jays, and nobody left. 1-0 Detroit as we go to the third at Rogers Center. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Timber Mart. Locally owned, proudly Canadian. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Centre. Visit timbermart.ca.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
Hola, soy Andrés Jiménez y estás escuchando el béisbol de los Toronto Blue Jays en la cadena de Radio Sportnet.
Javier Baez with one of the great plays we've seen all season. A diving catch on a liner, popping up to double off Barger. Keeps the Tigers in front 1-0 as we resume in the top of the third. Bowden Francis deals to the top of the order hitter, Kerry Carpenter, who fouls off the first pitch. 0-1.
Do you want me to be a downer again?
Go ahead.
You know what I'm going to say.
I don't.
Oh, all right. I'll talk about it after this pitch.
0-1. Just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So you can't, as a base runner, you can't assume that a ball's going to drop. You have to at least see it drop before you take off. Addison Barger should have been standing on second base, waiting for that ball to drop.
1-1. In the dirt, 2 balls, 1 strike.
But instead, he assumed the ball was going to drop. He was about a third of the way, I believe, to third base. Javi Baez caught that ball and then made an easy throw to first base to get him for a double play, an inning-ending double play.
The 2-1. Lined up the middle, a base hit for Carpenter as it bounces 3 times before settling into the glove of Dalton Varsho.
And I'm sure when he got back to the dugout that John Schneider or whoever in that dugout said, hey, take it easy out there. Don't try to take the extra bag. Just stand on second base. Be where you're supposed to be. Don't assume anything.
Right. And the truth of the matter is, we don't know for sure, but Baez had to dive there. There's no one backing him up. If Barger's basically on second and that ball gets down, he's got a good chance to score anyway.
Right. That's why I said he should be just standing on second base.
Runner on, nobody out. Pitch to Gleyber Torres, called a strike. This third inning brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Hanwell and Woodstock, New Brunswick. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. The 0-1. Outside. Gleyber Torres batting second and playing second today. Signed with the Tigers in the offseason for 1 year, $15 million. The 1-1 in the dirt, 2 balls, 1 strike.
That seems like a steal now, doesn't it? With the season he's putting up, he seems more like a $20 million guy.
It really does, and a guy that you'd think might get a longer-term deal. Tough thing for Torres, he had 20 homer seasons in the 2 years before his walk here, but last season was not his best in pinstripes. 2-1 pitch. Checks his swing as the fastball misses down and away. 3-1.
Players always talk about that bridge year, that year that connects you to free agency from wherever you are. It has to be good. It doesn't really matter about the other years. That bridge year has to be good, and unfortunately, Gleyber Torres didn't have a stellar bridge year.
Bowden Francis now going to step off. He never came set. He'll reset the clock and think again before the 3-1. Seven seasons with the Yankees for Gleyber Torres. 3-1. Lined left field, charging in Clase, dives and it bounces past him. Varsho backing it up, so no one advances any extra. Carpenter stops at second, and stopping at first is Torres. Back-to-back singles for the Tigers. Varsho prevents that from being a whole lot worse.
Well, Carpenter didn't get to third base because he was making sure that Clase didn't catch that baseball. He was about 2/3 of the way to second base when Clase decided to dive for that baseball. So that's a good thing for Bowden Francis. But like you said, Dalton Varsho so smart, backing up Clase, picking up that baseball, and keeping those runners at first and second.
Bowden in trouble, though. First and second after back-to-back hits. Nobody out, top of the third. Here's Colt Keith. Right on left, the pitch. Outside. Keith, a left-handed hitter, 6'2", 211 pounds, from Ohio. 23-year-old had a really tough start to the year. He's rounded into form recently. Francis with a step off and throw back to second. Bo Bichette actually wasn't at the bag and just pointed to his temple on the right side after that. He caught the ball. It didn't get away. Well, rather he picked it, but it seems like Bichette was maybe saying that he didn't hear the pickoff signal go through the pitch count. One-0 to Keith. Swing and a miss. Beat him with a fastball on the outer edge.
So before the invention of pitch calm, that when you touch your temple like that, that means, hey, be smart. Don't make that throw if I'm not
he was
there.
saying that, but
no, I think you're right.
I think he was saying the pitch calm thing. Francis twists back, 1-1. Hit off the handle, a looper foul over the third base dugout, and dropping into the seats, 1-2.
I'm still stuck in my old school mentality. That's what I immediately thought. Then when you said that, I was like, yeah, that makes more sense.
It is possible. You never know. Runner on second is Kerry Carpenter. Gleyber Torres on first. And the 1-2 to Colt Keith. Swing and a miss. He got him. Splitter in the dirt. Keith started to run, but he can't go anywhere on the drop third strike with first base occupied. There's one out on the fourth. Bowden Francis strikeout today.
He's got a good feel for that split finger today. You can tell that he's getting on top of it. That might have been his best one of the game so far, but here comes Riley Green, who hit a home run in his last at-bat.
For Green, it was home run 11 on the year to tie him with Spencer Torkelson, the guy right behind him in the order for most home runs on the Tigers this year. Left-handed hitter. Beard and mustache, wears dark batting gloves, light-colored cleats. Francis set, looking at second, and the pitch to Riley Green. Misses outside, ball one. Green was the 5th overall pick by the Tigers in 2019 out of Paul J. Haggerty High School in Oviedo, Florida, where he was high school teammates with Vaughn Grissom. (1-0). Called a strike, 1-1.
And now you have to show in. You have to show a fastball in. I don't know about this pitch in particular, but at some point during this at-bat, you have to pitch in.
The 1-1. Missed up top. I think they were trying to go inside.
They were trying to go in. That's a good pitch. You could see Alejandro Kirk with the target up and in, almost at the hands of Riley Green. We've seen this so often with big power hitters, big long guys, and Riley Green is one of those guys.
Green 6'2", 200 pounds. The 2-1. Swing and a deep fly ball left field toward the corner. On the run, a nice catch by Clase. Got into a slide as he made the play, and he gets up and rifles it to third to keep the runners at first and second. Showing the athleticism in left field, the youngster Jonathan Classe. They're 2 down.
Yeah, that's a nice play in that corner. Saving a run, really, for Bowden Francis. Pops up, makes that throw to third base. It's a good young play right there.
Back-to-back singles to start the inning for the Tigers. A strikeout and a lineout since. And now Spencer Torkelson up to the plate. Didn't really get to hit his first time up. He was struck by a fastball on the first pitch. Right on right, the offering. Call to strike. Mentioned earlier, the Tigers are not all about one guy, one star. But if you were to pick someone that has really helped them be better offensively this year than last year, Torkelson is near the top of that list. 0-1. Swing and a deep fly ball to center. Varsho tracking back, stops in front of the track to make the catch and end the inning. Good job working out of trouble for Bowden Francis after back-to-back singles. He strands both on base, keeps it 1-0 Detroit, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Find out who will lift the FA Cup trophy this weekend on SiriusXM FC. Crystal Palace are 90 minutes away from their first FA Cup title.
Eze into the area, right-footed shot, slams it in!
In their path is a dangerous Manchester City side, keen on salvaging their season.
Oh, Kevin De Bruyne, that is simply sensational.
It's the FA Cup final, Palace versus City, tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern on SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio, every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We're back on the track Sunday,
5 p.m. Eastern.
It's the NASCAR All-Star Race
from North Wilkesboro Speedway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 and on the SiriusXM app. For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race. Plus, 2 hours of post-race coverage on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
The Sportsnet Radio Network.
1-0 Tigers, bottom of the third inning. Michael Stefanik leading off, and the pitch to the right-handed hitter is down and away, ball 1. First start in a Blue Jay uniform for Michael Stefanik and his second game overall after he substituted late in the Blue Jays series sweeping win over Seattle. 1-0. Call to strike. For Stefanik, it's his 92nd Major League game. Signed with the Blue Jays on a minor league deal after spending parts of the last 3 years with the Angels. 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. Stefanik, a really talented contact hitter. That's the big part of his game. At AAA this year in 31 games was hitting near 320. 2-1. Checks his swing, pitch in the dirt. Or did that actually hit the bat on a check swing? It might have. It did. It's 2-2.
And it's not only this season. It's last season in 2024. He hit 384. In 2023, he hit 365. Those are some impressive numbers.
Now, he hasn't been able to translate that to the majors. Then again, he has never really had a long run at the major league level. Most games in a season is 40. 2-2. Swinging a liner, right field, down for a base hit. Going the other way and driving it on a line. That's Michael Stefanik baseball. He's aboard to start the bottom of the third.
And look, I get that Michael Stefanik doesn't have a ton of pop. I get that guys like Nathan Lucas, don't have a ton of pop, but they're high average guys, high on base guys. Why not give those guys a chance? This guy is raking in AAA, and I always say if you rake in AAA, you're probably going to be okay in the big leagues.
Stefanik getting a shot with Andres Jimenez on the injured list. Now Jonathan Classe is up. The pitch. Classe squares to bunt, pulls it back, pitches outside. Ball 1. By the way, Stefanik talking with the Blue Jays first base coach today. It's not Mark Budzinski. He's away for his son's graduation with his family. So Casey Candell, the AAA Buffalo Bisons manager, has been brought up to coach first. 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Carlos Fablis still giving the signs over at third base, touching the cap, the ears, rubbing his pants, as Clase, the switch hitter, looks on from the left side.
I wonder if the Buffalo Bisons coaches were congratulating him for getting called up.
You're getting called up to the big league, Skip. 2-0. Swing and a fly ball right field. Going back, Carpenter at the warning track, makes the catch and tosses it back into second base. Stefanik retreating to first, a near miss on a home run there for Clase. There's one out.
Yeah, he just missed that one. I think he just missed the barrel. Didn't quite get all of it, but that's a good swing from Jonathan Clase.
Feels like the ball is carrying tonight out there, and there's no wind.
Don't start that nonsense.
I'm not going to get into the roof open, roof closed. I just think in general today, the ball seems to be carrying. One out, runner on first. Bottom of the third, and the pitch to Bo Bichette. Called a strike. 1-0 Tigers in the bottom of the third inning. Jack Flaherty has allowed 2 hits so far. The single to Stefanik. Stefanik's on first right now, and the leadoff double to Bo Bichette. 0-1. Bichette powers it foul. Right side. It's 0-2. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. When home improvement projects are throwing you a curveball, talk to the folks at Timbermart before you begin your next job. They've got the material and know-how to make sure you have all your bases covered. Timbermart, Canada's building center. Step off, throw to first. Stefanik dives back in. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer. Tom Young and Derek Brandeo, our technical directors. And producing today, Nick Blackmore.
That's my guy, Nick Blackmore. Always does a great job.
Bichette's going to ask for time. Flaherty staring in at him, was winding down that clock. It was at 2 when Bo Bichette put the right hand up. Flaherty in the set, peeks over his left shoulder. One more look, and now he'll kick and offer. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Through that 12-6 curve that fell into the dirt as Bichette swung over top of it. 2 down.
Yeah, and you talked about that curve earlier. If that curve is on, Jack Flaherty is really a different guy. He saw 2 fastballs to get to 2 strikes and then flipped in that really good knuckle curve. Not his best knuckle curve, but even when it's just his average one, it's still pretty good.
So 2 outs, so runner on first. 1-0 Tigers, bottom 3. Pitch to Vlad. Check swing. Pitch called a ball. That is outrageous, to be honest. That was certainly a strike. And that's one of the biggest misses we've seen all year.
We're about to see a makeup call here.
That was almost down the middle. But Flaherty falls behind Guerrero, 1-0. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Same spot pretty much. Swing and a miss by Vlad to make it 1-1.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. almost hit that thing 500 feet. That was a big swing on a 4-seam fastball in the inner third.
Stefanik leading off first base, held on by Torkelson. The 1-1. Swing and a bouncing ball right side. Torres ranging to his left, picks it up. His momentum carries him to first as he makes the throw to end the inning. Second time in 3 innings, the Blue Jays come up with a leadoff hit and strand the runner in place. Stefanik left at first. 1-0 Tigers as we go to the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The drama builds. Baseball's in full swing. This ball's gone! Hear every MLB game on SiriusXM.
And they'll be talking about this one for a long, long time.
Listen to your favorite team all season long with your hometown announcers on the SiriusXM app.
A breathtaking home run by Aaron Judge.
For a complete MLB schedule, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
What a night.
Baseball is back. It's former General Manager Jim Duquette, and every Sunday on the front office, we have you covered on everything happening across Major League Baseball.
That's right, Duke. It's former Big League GM Jim Bowden. Injuries, extensions, promotions, demotions, and trades. We'll have you covered on all the news.
We'll bring you the front office perspective as the season heats up.
Front office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Say goodbye, home run Aaron Judge.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
Jays fans, this is George Springer, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
George Springer, airborne, snatches it out of the sky.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to downtown Toronto. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 for the Detroit Tigers as Bowden Francis deals to Zach McKinstry. Left-handed hitter hits it foul just in front of his foot, bouncing toward the first base dugout. Nice play by the ball boy. 0-1. 6, 7, 8 in the Tiger order. McKinstry, Dingler, Sweeney. Bowden's 0-1. Down and in. This fourth inning is presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1-1. Misses outside with the splitter. 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield shifted to pull. Barger in at third. 2-1 pitch. High ball 3. Patient so far for Zach McKinstry, who is walking at the highest rate of his career. Perhaps playing in a little bit to the better swings and contact he's getting off this year. The 3-1. Called strike, fastball on the outer edge.
That's a good comeback pitch right there. Four-seam fastball right on the black outside. Now you're in a 3-2 count. You can really throw whatever you want here. Wouldn't be surprised if he flips in a split finger.
3-2. Fouled off. Went back to the fastball on the outside edge.
I don't dislike that pitch either. Alejandro Kirk nodding his head, letting him know that was a good pitch. They tried to elevate that thing at the top of the strike zone. Like I said earlier, Bowden Francis is at his best when he's at the top of that strike zone with the four-seamer.
He winds and delivers. Swing and a fly ball. Hit very high. Deep right field. Going back, Lucas, at the warning track, and it's out of here. A moonshot home run for Zach McKinstry, his second of the season. Second Tigers solo shot today. 2-0 Detroit, top of the fourth.
Again, didn't think that was getting out to right field. Just squeaks over that wall out there, but that was just a hanging split finger almost right down the middle, and McKinstry gets underneath of it. I really thought Nathan Lucas was going to catch that baseball.
That's about as under a ball you can get and still hit it out. McKinstry hit it 342 feet out to right. Pitch to Dylan Dingler is popped up, foul right side into the seats, 0-1. Dingler, the catcher, I mentioned earlier, really the backup catcher when the Tigers broke camp. He's young. They wanted him to play behind Jake Rogers. But early into the season, April 8th, he moved into a starting role. 0-1. Called inside, maybe high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Bowden Francis is actually asking where that pitch was, so he agrees with you.
I mean, it did hit the strike box, but I think that's a pitch that reasonably could be called either way. The 1-1. Fouled off 1-2. But ever since April 8th, when Jake Rogers had that oblique strain and went on the injured list, it's pretty much been 3 out of 4 days that Dylan Dingler has caught, with Tomas Nido filling in when Dingler needs the day off. 60 major league games for the catcher. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. elevated the heater at 91. 5th strikeout for Bowden Francis.
That's it right there. If you look back to that home run by McKinstry, I'm sure Bowden Francis thinks, I should have thrown that elevated heater. I shouldn't have tried to slip in a split finger. That's it right there. That's the pitch that really makes him good. That elevated four-seam fastball right at the top of that strike zone.
1 out is pitched to Trey Sweeney. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes inside. Ball 1. Two home runs allowed today, but it has looked pretty good so far overall from Bowden Francis. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good curve below the knees.
62 pitches, 63 pitches now, so a little bit elevated with that pitch count. Not too bad, though.
Through 3 1/3. 41 strikes, 22 balls. 1-1. Popped up. Third base side foul. Barger ranging over. Will it stay in the confines of the yard? It will, as Barger reaches over into the camera well to make the play. Nearly flipped into it as he put his stomach on the top of the railing, left the turf, and leaned over to make the backhanded catch.
Well, if there's one guy that's probably not afraid of that short wall and going over that short wall, it might be Addison Barger. Just runs right into it, makes the catch. You can see the guys in that camera well trying to save him from going over, but what a catch from him.
When Barger's going to fall on you, you're protecting yourself as much as you're protecting Addison Barger. 2 outs, pitch to Javier Baez, called a strike. Baez, the center fielder today for the Tigers, hitting with nobody aboard. 2-0 Detroit lead. The 0-1. Swing and a miss.
There's that curveball again. He's really relying on it today, and he's thrown some good ones.
Bounced that one. Funny thing about Baez, who's having a much better year, he's still chasing pretty much as he did the last couple years, which is about as much as anyone in baseball. So you got very few reasons to throw him a strike. 0-2. High fastball. Baez takes that one eye high. He ducked back out of the way.
Well, Alejandro Kirk agrees with you because he was standing up straight with that target. I mean, I don't know how high that was, but it was about chin high, maybe nose high of Javi Baez.
1-2 pitch is powered out to right and deep. Going back, Nathan Lucas at the warning track, makes the catch, pressing up into the chain link fence, and that will end the inning. Solo shot from Zach McKinstry to start the frame, makes it 2-0 Detroit, middle of the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Lights up, let's go to Junior J Sundays. It's family fun throughout the ballpark with games and activities that your squad will never forget.
Feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL free topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
Breaking news coming. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He keeps this game tied
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermont broadcast booth. Alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. 2-0 Tigers, bottom 4. Jack Flaherty to Dalton Varsho. Fouled right back, tips off the top of the netting, hits the cord, and falls into the 200 level seats, where a couple Tigers fans were looking for it. I think it landed in the hands of a Blue Jays fan. It's 0-1. Next offering. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Varsho, Springer, Kirk hitting this inning for the Blue Jays. Toronto has 2 hits and a walk so far. They haven't had multiple runners in any of the first 3 innings. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Well, the good news is Bowden Francis is pitching well and keeping the Blue Jays in this ball game so far.
Time asked for by Dalton Varsho. Steps out for a moment. Now taps the plate with his black bat. The 1-2. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flaherty, glove overhead, unleashes a 2-2 and misses down and in again. Twice has thrown back foot breaking balls to Varsho. Neither time Dalton offered. So now it's a full count.
That last one was a really good take. Looked like a very hittable pitch.
Flaherty winds, kicks, delivers. And that one fouled back. Last second swing decision by Varsho. Tipped away a slider that might have been on the outside edge.
That's what you call a good 2-strike approach.
For sure.
Right there, staying alive.
We might say this and that. Oh, that should have been a ball. That should have been a strike. Don't let the ump decide it.
Right.
Another 3-2. Swinging a fly ball out to left field. Green coming in slightly and toward the line. Makes the catch with 2 hands. 1 out.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, 100% Canadian owned and operated since 1992. Every Tuesday night, wings are just half price. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. You are welcome.
It's rivalry weekend in Major League Baseball.
That's where you're going?
That is where I'm going. Hockey game scoreless. Maple Leafs Panthers, Game 6, Sunrise. 3-2 series lead, Florida. Pitch to George Springer. Called a strike. With 1 out and the bases empty and the Tigers leading 2-0, bottom 4. Rivalry weekend has the Braves visiting the Red Sox. 2-0 Braves lead. 0-1. Swinging a fly ball right field. Going back, Carpenter. Now he starts to move in and makes the catch. 2 down. So it's 2-0 Braves in Boston. 1-1 in an all-Florida matchup between the Rays and the Marlins. The Yankees are leading the Mets right now, 4-0 in the 3rd inning. Juan Soto walked in his first at-bat, probably to a chorus of boos from Yankee fans at Yankee Stadium. And in the Masson Bowl, the Orioles and the Nationals tied at 1, bottom 3 in Baltimore. Pitch to Alejandro Kirk, called a strike, 2 outs, bases empty, 2-0 Detroit. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Former St. Louis Cardinal Jack Flaherty kicks and offers. Swing and a miss. Had Kirk leaning out in front, even stepping a little to the left as he tried to slow the bat down for that curve, but he just couldn't. 0-2.
It looked like he was trying to go big fly with that swing.
Yeah.
That front shoulder went flying.
Big separation, fastball to curveball. Low to mid-90s on the heater, high 70s on the curve. 0-2. Down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We get spoiled with a sometimes 20 or more mile-per-hour separation for Chris Bassett, but 15 is still very good. Flaherty's 1-2. Fastball caught him looking, strike 3. 95 on the outside corner, and the first perfect inning for Jack Flaherty today. He punches out Kirk after a pair of fly balls, and it's 2-0 Tigers as we head to the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Relive the party anthems, line dances, and cringeworthy slow songs.
You're like a dream come true, and I don't want to miss a thing.
On Prom Radio. Find it in the SiriusXM app on your phone and at home on your computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices. Just search Prom.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Say goodbye, home run Aaron Judge.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app.
An exciting new era has just arrived.
In 2015, Jordan Spieth produced a year for the ages. The Masters, the U.S. Open, the ridiculous putting. Let's revisit the Golden Child's golden season. Listen to 2015, the year of Jordan Spieth. Hosted by yours truly, Colt Knost. And browse the entire catalog of golf originals. Search PGA Tour radio specials on the SiriusXM app.
Jays fans, John Schneider joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app.
It's the fifth inning, brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. Bowden Francis on the hill has thrown 68 pitches so far, and he's been mostly good. Just 2 solo homers on his line right now have really hurt him, so it's 2-0 for Detroit as we start the fifth. Third time through the order for Francis, who sets the ball in the middle of his pointer finger and middle finger, setting up that splitter grip as he looks in at Kerry Carpenter. Into the wind, the pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Foul over the third base dugout into the seats, 0-1. You ever throw a splitter?
Yeah, so I tried to throw one when I got to Japan because that's the big pitch over there. That's the pitch that every single pitcher throws. And when I was playing in the U.S., it was the slider. Every guy threw a slider.
The 0-1. Check swing on a curve, down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And for whatever reason, my pointer finger and my middle finger just could never get the flexibility.
Next pitch popped up, foul again out of play. That'll make it 1-2. They wouldn't spread out enough.
Yeah, they wouldn't spread out enough. I don't have the flexibility between those 2 fingers. So what my Japanese team suggested that I do is just go home and stick a softball between my fingers, watch TV, do whatever you're doing around the house, and have a softball stretching your fingers. And it just never worked, so I just couldn't throw it.
Francis kicks the 1-2. Hit sharply on the ground through the whole right side, a base hit. Second knock today for Kerry Carpenter.
But in answer to your question, I am jealous of Bowden Francis, who can spread those who can spread those fingers out and throws a really good split finger.
Yeah, it seems like a really difficult pitch to throw, especially with the traditional grip. We've seen Kevin Gausman throw it with ease for years, but when you look at Francis or a Chris Bassett or some others, they have to set that grip up every time, because if they don't, it's somewhat obvious that they're shifting the ball around in their glove. From the stretch, Francis to Gleyber Torres, low ball 1.
I know guys that throw a split finger and have such good flexibility between those 2 fingers that they can slide a baseball in there, barely even touching each finger. It's crazy.
The 1-0. Popped up foul, first base side. Guerrero tracking it. Onto the side warning track. Leaning into the Tiger dugout. He makes the catch and whips it back into the field of play before he fell into the dugout so that it doesn't go out of play. A real heads-up move by Guerrero, who just bounced it to the middle of the infield so that the runner from first wouldn't advance. But Tripp Gibson, the home plate umpire, is going to conference the umps and see if they feel Vladdy did cross the threshold and fall out of play.
It seemed like he did to me, and I think that's what the umpires are going to look at right now.
AJ Hinch is out talking with Tripp Gibson. Vladdy makes the catch to the entrance, or in the entrance to the stairwell. And I mean, at least part of his body is in the dugout, and he just turned around and fired it back into the field of play. He was far enough in that I think Javier Baez actually grabbed Vlad to make sure he didn't fall down the stairs. But Guerrero potentially saves the Blue Jays. A base or 2 there for Kerry Carpenter. By keeping the ball in play, Carpenter remains at first, and now Colt Keith is up. Francis kicks and deals. Down and in. Good diving scoop by Alejandro Kirk. Ball 1.
It seemed like somebody in that Detroit Tigers dugout was pretty upset about the play because A.J. Hinch had to tell somebody, hey, stop yelling. You don't need to yell about this, as he was talking to Tripp Gibson, the home plate umpire.
1-0. Keith takes outside. Left-handed hitter takes a hand off the bat now and steps out of the box. 2 balls, no strikes. So runner still on first. 2-0 Tigers. 1 out, top of the 5th. 2-0. Keith slams it back foul into the screen. Colt Keith, the #1 Tigers prospect going into 2023. Won Tigers Minor Leaguer of the Year that season, and before he even debuted in the majors in 2024, he signed a lengthy contract, 6 years, $28 million, before he played a game. The 2-1. Hit on a line, bounces through the infield into center field, a base hit. Up to second base, Carpenter, and it's the first hit today for Colt Keith.
Colt Keith did a good job getting to that ball. It was a split finger that kind of hung a little bit, but it was on the black outside. Colt Keith sticks that bat out and gets it right up the middle for a base hit.
For the Tigers, their 7th hit today. They have left 4 on base so far. First and second Detroit. 1 out and a 2-0 Tiger lead, top of the 5th. Very dangerous. Riley Green up to the plate. A solo homer and a line out to the left field corner. The pitch. Up and in. He twists his head out of the way. Ball 1.
That's a good pitch. Even though that fastball missed, it missed in. It's going to make Riley Green feel uncomfortable now.
That was the rare sinker from Bowden Francis. His 1-0. Swing and a liner right field. Base hit. Bouncing into the corner. Coming around third. Carpenter scores. Getting the wave. Colt Keith. He's tearing around third. Relay to the plate. Throw up the line. Keith slides in. It's a 2-run double for Riley Green. And the Tigers double their advantage. 4-0 Detroit in the 5th.
Another hanging splitter. Riley Green hit that 111 miles an hour into the corner in right field. 2 runs for the Detroit Tigers and another good swing from a very good young hitter.
This Tigers roster oozing with young talent. Riley Green right at the forefront. He's on second. Comes up with his 8th double of the year and his 28th and 29th RBIs. Second on the team in runs batted in to this guy, Spencer Torkelson, who's hitting from the right side with 1 out. Francis will step off before the first pitch. That allows us to go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Still scoreless in Sunrise, Maple Leafs and Panthers, about 9 minutes into the first period of Game 6. Pitch to Torkelson, called a strike. Braves still lead the Red Sox 2-0. The Marlins have taken the lead on the Rays, 2-1 in Miami. Yankees still up 4-0 on the Mets, but the Mets are threatening in the 4th. And the Orioles have taken a 2-1 advantage over the Nationals on a Jackson Holiday single. Swing and a miss there by Torkelson. Count is 0-2. Torkelson, the first overall pick in 2020 out of Arizona State. As a freshman, his first year with the Sun Devils, he clubbed 25 home runs. 0-2. Just outside.
There's some really high draft picks on this roster. Riley Green, 5th overall, like you said. Spencer Torkelson, 1st overall.
Tigers spent some time in the woods after the end of Miguel Cabrera's prime. They had lean years, but they drafted well. 1-2. Called. Strike 3. Fastball just clips the outside edge. Torkelson didn't love it or didn't like that he didn't swing. He was bouncing around in the box, but now he walks back. 2 outs.
Well, that was a close pitch. A pitcher's pitch. Just clipped the black on the outside part. A little sinker that came back just a little bit. A good pitch from Bowden Francis.
Torkelson still walking back slowly as Zach McKinstry takes over, left-handed hitter. Green on second, 4-0 Tigers, 2 outs, top of the 5th. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. I know he struck out, but Torkelson setting that freshman home run record at Arizona State. Who do you think he passed to get that record?
Dustin Pedroia.
No, but it's a guy known for hitting a lot of home runs.
At Arizona State?
At Arizona State.
He was a player from Arizona State.
Yep. 1-0. Swing and a fly ball left field, ranging to the corner. Clase still on the run, near foul territory, slides, and that ball gets down as Clase slams into the sidewall. He's a little slow to get up, but I think it's frustration more than anything. Good effort. It's 1-1.
I believe that ball actually hit off the wall and came back and hit Jonathan Clase. It's a good thing that he looks pretty good. Well, it did hit off the wall, but it didn't quite hit him like I thought it did.
So as Clase walks back, I can let you know that the player Torkelson passed for freshman home runs, Arizona State's Barry Bonds.
Oh.
Known for hitting a lot of homers.
I forgot he was at Arizona State.
A look at second from Francis, and the 1-1. McKinstry takes high and outside, 2-1. Now, a lot of high draft picks on this roster. Zach McKinstry, a 33rd rounder by the Dodgers in 2016 out of Central Michigan. 2-1 pitch. High ball 3. Battled his way up to the big leagues from the 33rd round. Didn't really stick with the Dodgers or with the Cubs, who he was traded to and was with for half a season, but has found a home with the Tigers. 3-1 pitch. Called a strike. Might have been a hair off the plate inside, but it was borderline. It's 3-2. Four 4-0 for Detroit. 2 runs this inning thanks to Riley Green's double. Green on second, 2 outs, and the 3-2 to McKinstry. Just outside, ball 4. That one could have been a strike, but then again, the 3-1 could have easily been a ball, so it evens out, and it's a walk for McKinstry.
The 3-1 pitch probably should have been a ball, but that pitch right there should have been a strike. Clipped the black on the outside part. Again, it was a pitcher's pitch, but it's still a very good pitch. Bowden Francis hit his spot. He should be out of this inning.
Action going on in the Blue Jays bullpen. Francis trying to make it through 5 as Mason Fluharty gets loose. And Alejandro Kirk's going to come to the front of the plate. Just give some signals to the defense in case the Tigers decide to steal. First and second. McKinstry on first. Green on second. Dylan Dingler, the catcher, up to the plate. Slightly open in his stance. The pitch. Inside to the right-handed hitter. Ball 1.
Addison Barger at third base is almost playing next to that foul line, taking away anything down the line, anything that can score those runs that are on base right now.
Maybe a step and a half off the chalk. Here's the 1-0. High, 2 balls, no strikes. You have Bo Bichette playing deep at shortstop and perhaps halfway in between second and third. Michael Stefanik, the second baseman, is up the middle, keeping Riley Green close, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. playing way off the first base line, at least a third of the way to second base, if not more. 2-0 pitch. Up and in. Dingler leans back to avoid it. Ball 3.
Bowden Francis just threw his 93rd pitch of the ball game, and Mason Fluharty's been warming up for about 5 minutes now, so his day is almost done.
There's also a lefty on deck. Fluharty, a lefty in the pen. 3-0 pitch. Called strike. Dingler taken all the way. Francis fits it in the inner third of the zone. 3-1. Couple big extra base hits for the Tigers. That's why they're up 4-0. 2 outs, first and second, top of the 5th. The pitch. Inside, ball 4. Dingler takes a walk. The bases are loaded. And here comes John Schneider out of the Blue Jay dugout. Pitching change for Toronto, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. After 4 2/3 with the bases loaded and the Tigers up 4-0, Bowden Francis's day is done. Fluharty is about to jog in. Let's go back to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, guys. Let's check in on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. As we often have in the last few weeks, we will start with hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Last night, 2 games, one team staving off elimination. One of my favorite phrases. Another moving on to the conference finals. First, one of 2 spots in the Eastern Conference finals have been locked up by the Hurricanes. The Carolina Hurricanes thumping the Washington Capitals 3-1 in Game 5. They win the series 4-1. They will await the winner of Leafs-Panthers in the Western Conference. Jeff Blair's Jets blanking the Stars 4-0. Dallas does still lead this series 3-2. Game 6 will go in Texas tomorrow night. As the Oilers have already moved on, it means we have just one more series to discuss. And you guessed it, Leafs-Panthers Game 6 going on tonight in Sunrise, Florida, leading this series, entering play 3-2. A win would send them to their 3rd straight Eastern Conference Finals. On the flip side, Toronto trying to avoid elimination. They have not lost 4 straight games all season. Right now, this game is showing zeros right now, a couple minutes to go in the first period. You can watch this game on Sportsnet and the CBC. You can listen to it in Toronto on 680 News or elsewhere on the primary stream at sportsnet.ca/590. Joe Bone and Jim Ralph are on the call. And after the game, win or lose, Leafs Talk with JD Bunkus, Sam McKee, and Justin Bourne will follow on the radio, on Sportsnet Plus, and on Sportsnet's YouTube page. Blue Jays Baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action down to the Rogers Center. Here are Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Left-hander Mason Fluharty finishing up his warm-up pitches. Tigers leading 4-0 in the top of the 5th with 2 outs and the bases empty. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Fluharty looking to continue what's been an outstanding rookie campaign so far. 18 appearances now as he enters this ball game across 17 innings, a 2.12 earned run average. He's only given up 7 hits in 17 innings, and he's struck out 16.
Sweeper cutter. That's it. That's all it is.
And better against righties so far than lefties is the southpaw, who goes left on left with Trey Sweeney. Here's the pitch. High and outside, ball 1.
And I like the fact that you're bringing in Mason Fluharty in a big spot right here. You want to keep this game a 4-0 ball game. You obviously don't want this to be a 6-0 ball game. So Mason Fluharty in the game right now is pretty important.
His 1-0. Swing and a foul off. It hit Alejandro Kirk, whose head sags down to the dirt. 1-1. First year for Fluharty, the reliever out of Liberty, college teammate of Will Wagner. Easy to forget he started the year at AAA, honestly, because he came up so quick. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Great sweeper off the plate away. 1-2.
I don't know what it is about that sweeper. It has to be the deception. Obviously, it has good movement, good location, things like that, but there has to be more to it.
He's just generally funky, Fluharty. Yeah. His setup and his set is super closed. His lead right foot ahead of his left foot, hides the ball as he twists back. And most of these guys have never seen him before. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off of the shin pad or shin guard of Alejandro Kirk on his left leg. Still 1-2.
It does have a lot of movement, though, starting on the inside part of the plate, ending off the plate outside. Sweeney doing a good job just fouling it off and staying alive.
1-2 again. High with the cutter. 92 on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I remember talking to Pete Walker about Fluharty in spring because his stuff is not that overwhelming. Pete said, frankly, he wasn't always on the radar, but he's just getting people out so often in the minors, you have to pay attention to him. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Fluharty strikes out Sweeney. Sweeney banging his right hand off of his helmet as he frustratingly walks back to the dugout. Fluharty strands the bases loaded, but the Tigers do get 2 in the inning on the Riley Green double. 4-0 Detroit, middle of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
In season or out of season, the number one place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
PGA Championship moments on SiriusXM.
At the 2024 PGA Championship at Valhalla, Xander Schauffele's opening round 62 tied a major championship record, and he never looked back.
Xander Schauffele, the winner of the 106th PGA Championship.
Colin Morikawa and Bryson DeChambeau made furious charges, but Xander secured his first major win 2 months before claiming his second. Listen to PGA Championship Radio all week long on Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, John Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Our bats have been really kind of the way we envisioned them. Jimenez has kind of picked up where he left off in spring, as has Bo Bichette, Alejandro Kirk, and George Springer is making progress and kind of quieting some people down on the outside with the start he got off to.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays baseball is presented by Crown Rust Protection. 4-0 Tigers, bottom of the 5th inning. Thank you for tuning in tonight. It's a beautiful evening in downtown Toronto. You can see different shades over the left field corner of the sky as the sun sets. Blue Jays trailing 4-0. Addison Barger leads off the bottom of the 5th. Pitch from Jack Flaherty in there on the inner third. Strike one. Back-to-back great days for baseball. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Great day for baseball, great day for hockey.
We'll have to wait and see if it's a great day for hockey.
That's true.
The 1-1. Fastball called a strike. 3 straight takes by Barger. It's 1-2. Still 22 degrees in Toronto. So we just passed 8:30 Eastern a couple minutes ago. 1-2 pitch. Barger rips it toward right field and down for a base hit. Fielded on one hop by Kerry Carpenter. Offense hasn't gotten going today, but Barger sure has. He's on for the second time.
Yeah, that's a good start. This game isn't over yet. Mason Fluharty did a good job keeping it 4-0. And Addison Barger just rips that thing to right field. A big first hit in this inning.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Show Ali, our host and producer. Our host. Nick Blackmore, our producer. Tom Young and Derek Brandeo, our technical directors. Nathan Lucas is up, and the pitch. Outside. This is the third time now in 5 innings that the Blue Jays have had a leadoff base hit against Jack Flaherty. The last 2 times in the first and third, that runner did not advance after he came up with his hit. 1-0. Fouled off to the left, 1-1.
And I think a part of that is Jack Flaherty's just making very good pitches. He hasn't been good this season, but he's been pretty good tonight, especially with the command of the fastball.
Flaherty sets, glove off of his chest. The pitch. High and outside, 2-1. Tigers have really been looking for a bounce back from Flaherty. He's lost 5 straight starts, picking up a losing decision, 5 in a row. Plus the Tigers are 1-7 when he starts this year. They're 28-8 when anyone else starts. 2-1. Hit on the ground to second base. This could be 2. Torres picks it up, shuffles, throws to second 1. Throw back to first by Sweeney in time. That's a 4-6-3 double play.
That's a rally killer right there. A big pitch for Jack Flaherty, a good pitch down in the strike zone, and Nathan Lucas just rolled over it and hit a routine double play.
So trying to spark something with 2 outs, be Michael Stefanik, who came up with his first hit as a Blue Jay in the 3rd inning. He slapped a single to right. Flaherty kicks and delivers. Fastball in there.
It's actually relatively difficult to lose 5 ball games in a row as a pitcher.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll mix in a no decision or something like that, but 5 losses in a row is actually pretty rare, I'd imagine.
0-1 is in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. And think about the team you're pitching for, too.
Right.
Typically, they're going to score you a lot of runs. They haven't for Flaherty. In those 5 starts, they've scored 10 total. The 1-1. Swing and a high fly ball. Left field. Going back, Riley Green. Onto the edge of the track. He makes the catch in left center to end the inning. No runs on a hit for the Blue Jays. Nobody left. 4-0 Tigers. We go to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Make no payments for 12 months with the Timber Mart Deferred Payment Program. Apply for a Timber Mart project card today and pay later, 12 months later. Financing provided by Fairstone Financial Inc. Conditions apply. Ask in-store for details or apply at timbermart.ca. Locally owned, proudly Canadian. Timber Mart is Canada's building center.
Which loony dogger are you? Do you approach Tuesdays with swagger and style? You could be a Rizzy Glizzy. Maybe you're an architect stacking your loony dogs up high. Do you walk into the ballpark with the confidence of an MVD? Then you're the most valuable dogger. This season at Rogers Center, every Tuesday home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. No matter which loony dogger you are, you'll have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around the ballpark. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Every Tuesday home game. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Guess who just bundled their home and auto with Desjardins Insurance?
Well, look at you, all grown up and saving money.
Yes, I am.
Mom told you to do it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Switch and you could save up to 35% on home insurance when you bundle home and auto. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Way back, and Jimenez has done it again.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Mason Fluharty stretches out his arms, brings his glove over his head, and now settles onto the first base side of the rubber as he gets set to face the number 9 hitter for the Tigers, Javier Baez, to start the 6th. 4-0, the Tigers lead the Blue Jays in the opener of rivalry weekend. Pitch home. Called a strike.
Just filling up that strike zone. That's part of the reason why Mason Fluharty's been so good.
Fluharty came in with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th, struck out Trey Sweeney on a sweeper. 0-1. Swing and a bouncing ball to shortstop. Picked up forehand side Bichette, steps into it and throws to first. There's 1 out. This 6th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today.
Ben, who can we talk to about getting some of those hats that the Jays are wearing tonight?
They are wearing special hats, Blue Jays and Tigers wearing camouflage Armed Forces weekend hats. Pitch to Kerry Carpenter outside, ball 1. I have no idea.
I can't remember a time when the Canadian flag was that big on their hat.
Yeah, so for the umpires and all the other ball clubs, a U.S. flag on it. For the Blue Jays, a big Canadian flag on the right side of the cap as the 1-0 is hit on the ground to first base. Guerrero has it, jogs his way over to first, 2 down.
Just like that, Mason Fluharty doing what he does best. 2 quick outs. So tough on lefties, tough on righties. I mean, he's just been so good this season.
Still 4-0 Detroit. 2 outs and the base is empty. Top of the 6th. Gleyber Torres to hit. The pitch. Outside ball 1. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Torres' former team, the Yankees, leading the Mets 6-1. Top of the 5th in the Bronx. Juan Soto, no registered at-bats, 2 walks against his former team. 1-0. Fouled off, 1-1. However, the Yankees getting their 6 runs on 7 hits. 5 of those hits have come from the 2 guys that New York replaced Soto with. Paul Goldschmidt has 3 hits, or pardon me, has 2. Cody Bellinger has 3. The 1-1. Called his strike. Torres buckled his lead knee as he thought about swinging at that cutter at the top of the zone. 1-2. Fluharty sets at the belt. 2 outs and is 1-2. Outside and high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Imagine you're so good at a sport that a team has to sign 2 players to replace you.
2 former MVPs. And people were still thinking when they did it,
not enough.
Not enough. 2-2. Fouled off the glove of Kirk. Gleyber Torres kicks the ball away. Back toward the Tiger dugout. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Other scores on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Still 2-0 Atlanta over Boston. That one in the top of the 7th. 5-4 Marlins over Rays, bottom 5. 2-1 Orioles over Nationals, top of the 5th. And I believe it's scoreless at intermission. Maple Leafs and Panthers, end of the first period. 2-2 to Torres. Bounce to the plate. Kirk threw the glove up in front of his face to block it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Colt Keith waiting on deck. 2 outs, base is empty. Top of the 6th, 4-0 Detroit. The payoff pitch. Swatted away foul. A sharp liner fades into the seats right side. Big ricochet lands it in the aisle. Someone reaches over from their aisle seat to pick it up.
I feel like you should give that back. If you just have to pick it up off the ground, if you did no work, you should give that
clean
ball back.
Catches only.
You need a clean catch.
Another 3-2. And again, a foul ball off to the right. That one is going to fall into the first row, the back row of the 100 level seats. Another one picked up off the ground.
Give it back. That guy's giving it back.
Come to behind home plate, radio broadcast booth, return your ball to Chris LaRue. You did not catch it cleanly. 3-2 again. Hit on the ground to third. Backing up, Barger fields it. Crow hop and throw over to first on a line to get Torres and end the inning. 3 groundouts in a 1-2-3, top of the 6th for Mason Fluharty. 4-0 Tigers as we head to the bottom half with Clase, Bichette, and Guerrero hitting next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Stay plugged in to the pulse of pop culture on the SiriusXM app. From exclusive interviews with today's biggest celebrities.
Demi Moore.
That's Lizzo.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Snoop Dogg.
You know how much I love you, Andy.
Unfiltered takes on what's trending from hosts like Alex Cooper and Andy Cohen.
What is up, Daddy Gang?
Hey, everybody. We are live. Plus, daily reality TV recaps, star-studded podcasts, and more.
Salma Hayek. Only Kelly Ripa can ask me these questions.
Keep up with all the latest entertainment buzz in one place. Just search pop culture in the SiriusXM app.
While you're listening to this game on SiriusXM, we're talking about the latest odds and prop bets for this and every game on Sports Grid Radio.
The under's -125. Heavy juice to the under.
Every home run hit and every strikeout thrown can change the line.
I can't for the life of me figure out how you can favor a team that never wins, ever.
If you're looking for sports talk centered around the latest odds and prop bets for games, races, tournaments, or any sporting event, Sports Grid Radio, SiriusXM, Channel 159.
I'm John Paul Morosi, host of the SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown. Hear our conversations with Hall of Famers about the challenges they overcame on the journey to baseball immortality.
It is a hard game, and mentally it's hard.
I used to go to bed crying. They pretty much knew I was going to have lung surgery after the season. I wasn't for sure. Would I ever play baseball again?
The Road to Cooperstown is the official podcast of the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Episodes are available now on the SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you dominate. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Home half of the 6th inning in downtown Toronto. The Blue Jays trailing the Tigers 4-0. Pitch to Jonathan Clase. Swing and a miss as he tried to hold up on the back foot breaking ball. 0-1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Jack Flaherty's 0-1. Sprayed away foul to the left. 0-2. Nick Blackmore, our producer today. Show Ali, our host. Tom Young, Derek Brandeo, our technical directors. Number 9 hitter Jonathan Clase hit a fly ball to the warning track in right field in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. 0-2 pitch. Bounce to the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Switch hitter Clase bats left. He's 2 for 19 in his young major league season. 1-2 pitch, fouled away.
We haven't been able to see him really let loose on the bases yet either. 15 stolen bases this season for Buffalo. A lot of speed, a lot of skill out there on the bases.
The 1-2. Called strike 3, 95 at the knees. Strikeout number 5 for Jack Flaherty.
This might be his best performance of the season, and I mean it's very obvious why. He's just commanding his stuff a little bit better. That fastball was dotted on the outside corner, almost impossible to hit even if you swing at it.
See if the top of the order can get to him. It is a 3rd time through now with Bo Bichette coming up. 1 out, bases empty. Bottom of the 6th. Flaherty's pitch. Swing and a miss. Bichette unloading, but he was out in front on the curve. 0-1. Called a strike. 0-2.
Can't hit that pitch either. Down and in right at the bottom of that strike zone.
Only 76 pitches so far for Jack Flaherty. 51 of them strikes. His 0-2. Bounce to the plate, ball 1. This is the Jack Flaherty the Tigers are used to seeing, the guy who dominated in the first half last year before going on to win a World Series with the Dodgers. 1-2. Just a little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
How wild is that he won a World Series with the Dodgers? He grew up 5 minutes from Dodger Stadium.
Went to Harvard Westlake High School in LA. 2-2. Bounce foul. Not only did he win it, he started game 1 of the World Series and game 5, the clinching game of the World Series. Now, he didn't have his best day in game 5, but if you give him a hard time for that, you also have to remember his 7 shutout innings in the NLCS against the Mets. The 2-2. Rolled over foul again. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's a guy who hasn't always put it all together in his career. Some ups and downs. But when he's been at his best, he has been among the best pitchers in baseball. 2-2. Fouled off once more. That was a fastball just off the plate away, hit into the netting.
He doesn't quite have the stuff that he used to have. I mean, he's still got very good stuff. That last fastball is 95 miles an hour, but the sharpness to some of his stuff just isn't the same. But when he's locating, he's still very good.
Another 2-2. Called strike 3. Fastball on the inside edge. Bichette turns around and walks back to the dugout. Back-to-back punch-outs, 2 down.
Just like that pitch right there. You could see that Bo Bichette was fooled by that pitch. They come in with a fastball down and in, 94 miles an hour. Again, not overpowering, but located so well. I mean, even if Bo's looking for that pitch, you probably can't get the barrel to it. But again, Jack Flaherty, probably his best start of the season so far.
His pitch to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Check swing. Pitch called a ball. Peel down to first, no swing. That's the second one that to Vladdy, I can't believe was called a ball. That pitch was definitely in the zone. Guerrero will take it. 1-0. The pitch. That one called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike as 96 hits the zone. Flaherty's averaged 93 on his heater most of this year. The 1-1. Just inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, bases empty. 4-0 for the Tigers, bottom 6. Love overhead, he kicks and offers. Called strike 2-2. And it's not like Flaherty has forced the Blue Jays into squandering chances. They haven't even really gotten started. Three hits today and a walk. 1 runner in scoring position. 2-2. Rolled over, a swinging bunt to third base. Charging in, it's gloved by McKinstry, and he's got no play. Make that hit number 4 on the day. You don't see that from Vlad all that often. An infield hit. And he's trying to get the dugout fired up. Blue Jays still trailing 4-0.
Well, McKinstry, the third baseman, was playing way back. So as soon as that ball trickled off the bat of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and stayed fair, you knew that he was going to have himself a base hit. But I'm sure Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will take that all day long.
As will the Blue Jays. Trying to mount something here in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on first. Dalton Varsho coming up to the plate to hit for the 3rd time. Flaherty sets. Left foot just in front of the right. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Bounce to slider in. It's 0-1. Dalton Varsho would love to see one of those Flaherty changeups. 3 of the 5 Varsho home runs this year have come on that pitch. 0-1. Fastball for a strike, 0-2.
Instead, he got 96 on the corner on the outside part.
No one likes that.
Everybody likes a hanging changeup. Nobody likes that, though.
Flaherty about to throw his 90th pitch. He kicks and deals. Swinging a fly ball out to deep left field. Green tracking back, turns around at the wall. It's gone! Dalton Varsho goes the other way into the Blue Jay bullpen in left field, and Toronto is back in it. A 2-run homer to make it 4-2 for the Tigers, bottom 6.
Well, they tried to throw that fastball again, sneak it by him, but Dalton Varsho was ready for it. A really nice swing, a really nice approach, protecting there with 2 strikes, and he hammered that thing into the bullpen in left field. Game's not over yet.
The start for Jack Flaherty is over, though. It's going to be a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 4-2 Tigers, 2 outs, bases empty, bottom 6. Let's go back to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's check in on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The last time we checked in, we looked at hockey. Quick check at Leafs-Panthers down in Sunrise, Game 6. This game's still in the first period intermission, so zeros for that game. You can watch the resumption of the second period in a couple of minutes on Sportsnet and the CBC. You can listen to it on 680 News in Toronto. Joe Bone and Jim Ralph are on the call, or Joe and Jim can be found on the primary stream at sportsnet.ca/590. In PWHL playoff action, Montreal got blanked by Ottawa in a 1-0 game in Game 3. Ottawa taking a 2-1 series lead in the best-of-5 series. Game 4 is on right now, and at the end of the second period in Ottawa leads 1-0 again. We'll continue checking in on that throughout the game, and when we get chances, the winner of Montreal-Ottawa will move on to play the Minnesota Frost, who are looking to defend their Walter Cup title already in the final after having beaten Toronto in the semifinal a few nights ago. The Boston Celtics over in the NBA managed to avoid elimination by beating the Knicks in Game 5. Game 6 on right now. Knicks win, and they will have a rematch with the Pacers in the Eastern Finals. Boston wins, and we'll have a Game 7. Right now, the Knicks, with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, are leading the Celtics 38-24. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action. Here are Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Right-hander Brennan Hanafy is into the game for the Tigers. 6'5", 215 pounds. A 26-year-old hails from Virginia and has had a fantastic start to his season. 17 appearances, an earned run average below 2 in 21 innings of work. 14 strikeouts to only 4 walks. 4-2 game is pitched to George Springer. Is swatted out to right field. Fading toward foul territory and into the seats, foul. 0-1. Hannafy, one of the handful of guys that came up midway last year for the Tigers and helped them make the playoffs. 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Due to trades and injuries, there were a lot of spots open, both in the pen and rotation. There barely was a rotation for the Tigers in the second half. 1-1. Inside, 2-1. And so they just rolled out different relievers at different times, and Hannafy threw to a sub-2 ERA last year. Was pitching in the playoffs after not being with the team until the second half of the year. 2-1. Check swing. Called strike. 96 on the outside edge. 2-2.
Hannafy's a really big guy. 6'5", 215 pounds. A lot of extension and a lot of run on that fastball that sits 95, 96 miles an hour.
His 2-2. Popped up, foul over the netting into the seats behind home plate. Sinker, slider are the main 2 pitches for the righty. He does have a 4-seamer that's just a little bit harder than the sinker. Occasionally, he'll throw a changeup. 2-2 again. Bounced foul this time to the left side, rolling past third base coach Carlos Febles. Bit of a rough start to the year for Hannafy. Gave up runs in each of his first 2 outings. Then only 2 more earned runs in 19 1/3 innings pitched. He winds the 2-2. Outside ball 3. Trey Sweeney thought it might have been strike 3. The shortstop started to head back toward the dugout. He'll walk back to his position on the edge of the left field turf. Full count, 2 outs, base is empty. Payoff pitch. Bounced away foul. That pitch was well inside, but Springer, not wanting Trip Gibson to decide the outcome of the at-bat, fouls it away.
Well, there's also a ton of run on that fastball, like I said, so it looks like it's starting on the black, and then it runs way off the plate, in on the hands. George Springer did a good job just fouling it off.
3-2 once more. And again, fouled off by Springer. That time a sinker on the outside corner, and he rolled over it. Third year pitching at all in the big leagues for Hannafy. 3-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on a 97-mile-per-hour sinker inside to end the inning. The Blue Jays, though, get on the board after an infield hit with 2 outs by Vlad Guerrero Jr. Dalton Varsho hits his team-leading 6th home run of the year, and it's 4-2 for the Tigers over the Blue Jays. Go into the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Are you ready for some football? On Wednesday, May 21st, gear up for football season with the George Springer replica football jersey giveaway presented by TD. Rush to the ballpark because this giveaway is available to the first 15,000 fans at Rogers Center. It's Wednesday night. Lights up. Let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Saturday, May 17th at Rogers Center is Barbie Game Day. Like Barbie, you can be anything. Just be sure to be at Rogers Center on Saturday, May 17th for Barbie Game Day. Be one of the first 15,000 fans to get your Blue Jays Barbie Hawaiian shirt giveaway. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone. Third home run in 4 batters for the Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Top of the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays, with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 6th, have made it close again. 4-2 is the score in favor of the Detroit Tigers. It's a pitching change for the Blue Jays, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Brendan Little into the game, and so A.J. Hinch plucks Justin Henry Malloy off his bench to bat for Colt Keith. Left on right, the pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. Keith, a left-handed hitter, out after a 1-for-3 day. And Malloy into the game. He had a walk-off hit on Wednesday off of Roldis Chapman to help the Tigers sweep the Red Sox. 1-0. Bounce to the plate, 2 balls, no strikes.
I'm sure Brendan Little's in this game not only to face Colt Keith, who is not in this game now, but Riley Green, the big slugger standing on deck right now for the Detroit Tigers.
Little rocks and offers. Fastball in there. Might have been a bit low, but he gets the benefit of a call. 2-1. Malloy batting .219 this year. 1 home run, 14 RBIs. 2-1 pitch. Bounced it near his ankles. Malloy steps out of the way. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's a hyphenated first name for the right-handed hitter, not the last name. Justin Henry is his first name. Malloy, the last name, of the 6'1", 25-year-old. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tried to hold up on that sinker low, but just couldn't. It's 3-2.
How about that sinker? That was gross. You just don't see big leaguers swing like that on fastballs very often.
Sinker, cutter, curve for Little. The 3-2 pitch. Called. Strike 3. 93 at the knees. 1 down.
I mean, that's ridiculous. That's what I've been saying all season long. Just throw that thing right down the middle and let it work. And that was perfection right there from Brendan Little.
So 1 out in this inning, a 7th inning that's brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Left-hander Little is working on a sub-2 earned run average. Kicks and offers. Riley Green takes down and away. Ball 1. Ball went off the glove. Kirk rolled all the way into the backstop. By the way, a defensive change for the Blue Jays as well. Miles Straw has gone out to right field this inning. Nathan Lucas out of the game. Don't remember anything that would signal Lucas would have been hurt, but we'll keep monitoring that. The 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. Green has been a thorn in the Blue Jays side today. He's driven in 3 of the 4 runs in Detroit's 4-2 lead. 1-1 pitch. Down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's the lone position player to make the All-Star game last year for the Tigers. 2-1. Down and away. 3-1. Of course, Tarek Skubal was there, but on a Tigers team that was more light hitting last year than the powerhouse that they appear to be this year. He was clearly the best bat in that lineup. The 3-1. Roped on the ground, first base side, foul. I thought that might have hopped over the base and could have been extra bases as it pinballed off the short wall. But a slow walk back to the plate for Riley Green after a foul ball. It's full count.
Well, I think Riley Green thought that ball was fair as well. We're getting a replay now. It was close. Riley Green actually pointed fair. He thought that ball was fair, and he was sprinting down to first base. Like you said, that was close.
Fair foul is reviewable over the head of an umpire behind them, not in front of them. So we stick with Ryan Blakeney's call. 3-2 pitch. Bounce through the legs of Green. It's rolling back toward the first base dugout. Brendan Little, the southpaw, goes to the rosin bag at the back of the hill, tosses it down, and walks back up to the top of the mound to step on the rubber. Blue New Balance cleats for the lefty. He comes set, right foot in front of his left. And the 3-2. Called strike 3. Got him looking. 2 strikeouts in a row, both on sinkers, and there are 2 down.
Well, Riley Green was clearly thinking knuckle curveball there. Just let that sinker go. Pretty good pitch. Down and away, a lot of sink, 94 miles an hour. I mean, we've been talking about Mason Fluharty, but how about Brendan Little? He's starting to heat up.
2 outs, the pitch to Spencer Torkelson. Called a strike 0-1. It's amazing. Brendan Little before last year had pitched once in the big leagues. Mason Fluharty before this year had never pitched in the big leagues. And this has been one of the strengths of this team by far, the left-handed relief pitching. 0-1 is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. And just 2 years ago, the Blue Jays felt very comfortable, and rightly so, in the hands of Tim Meza and Yenesis Cabrera, and they fairly seamlessly transitioned away from those two veterans. 1-1. Foul tip, 1-2. Little looking to strike out this side, facing right-handed hitting Spencer Torkelson. 2 outs, bases empty. 4-2 Tigers, top of the 7th. The pitch. Rolled over foul, bouncing toward the Blue Jay third base dugout. It skips into the camera well. Still 1-2.
I think that's the calling card of a good GM, is you're able to piece together a bullpen year after year. I've talked about this a lot, but being a reliable, predictable reliever in the big leagues is very hard.
1-2 again. Bounce to the plate over the left shoulder of Kirk. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So just because you have a good year one year, it's not necessarily a given that you're going to have a good year the next year. So the reason why I say it's a calling card of a good GM is because you're able to pivot from that guy and then find a guy in AAA or find a guy on waivers, find a guy through a trade. And I think Russ Atkins has done a pretty good job with that.
2-2. Bounce to the plate again, ball 3. Well, obviously, Meza, there were the struggles last year, and it was clear that they were going to move on from him. I think it was a fairly controversial move to let go of Yenesis Cabrera, who had a pretty good year last year for the Blue Jays. 3-2. Down and in, ball 4. Little got ahead of him early, but then scattered the zone, or scattered around the zone after getting to 2 strikes. So it's a 2-out walk to Torkelson.
We've seen that a few times over the last couple of weeks from Brendan Little, where he just loses a guy. And I think that's just coming from trying to do too much, almost like not trusting his stuff, not trusting the sink on that fastball.
Pitch to Zach McKinstry is bounced to shortstop. High hop for Bichette, fields it, throws on to first to end the inning. 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a ground out. No hits, no runs for the Tigers. They leave 1 on base. At the 7th inning stretch, 4-2 Detroit. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
It's time to kickstart spring at TSC. Discover top brands to live it up outdoors. Shop gardening tools, patio lights, furniture, and more. And split purchases into 6 interest-free easy pay payments. We got what you need to get your green thumbs going. Light up your nights. Have some fun. Go on a camping adventure with Coleman. Crank up your playlist with Bose. And show everyone why you're the grill master with Weber. Make the most of spring. Shop now at tsc.ca. Exciting offers every day.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Scary, spooky, hilarious, crazy, scary, spooky.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-2. The Tigers lead the Blue Jays at Rogers Center. Brennan Hannafy offers to Alejandro Kirk, and the first pitch misses low. Ball 1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host, Nick Blackmore, our producer, Tom Young and Derek Brandeo, technical directors. 1-0. Outside. Blue Jays back in it thanks to Dalton Varsho's 2-run blast last inning. And now you're in loop and a blast territory, trailing by 2. The 2-0 pitch. Down and away, ball 3.
Technically, last inning, did the Blue Jays have a bloop and a blast, or is that little dribbler down the third baseline a bloop?
It was almost a bunt and a blast with the swing from Vladdy. The 3-0, called strike. Alejandro Kirk entered this game hitting .283. He is 0 for 2, so now .279 on the year. 3-1. Lifted to right center field. Coming together, Baez the center fielder and Carpenter the right fielder. It's Baez crossing in front of Carpenter to make the catch. 1 out. In a moment, we'll go over to the American League East standings. Everyone's in action right now. And a lot of games still to be decided. A lot of close games late with the teams in the AL East. But before we get there, Addison Barger batting for the Blue Jays. Left-handed hitter with a walk and a single today. The pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Standings are brought to you by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1-0 lands in there, called strike, 1-1. Yankees entered today 25-18, leading the division. Blue Jays and Red Sox both 4 games back. Boston 22-23, Toronto 21-22. The 1-1. Inside 2-1. Then you have the Rays 5 games back of the Yankees, 20-23, and the Orioles 9.5 back, 15-27. As it stands, Red Sox are losing late. Blue Jays are trailing here in the 7th. Yankees are winning in the 7th. Rays down a bunch, 2-1. Outside 3-1. And then the Orioles and Nationals are tied late. Looks like the Yankees will win and the Rays will lose. The other 3 teams still in 2-run games or closer than that. 4-2 Tigers, the 3-1 pitch is hammered. Center field. Baez tracking back, turns around. It's off the top of the fence. Barger into second base with a double for now. And I think they're going to take a look. They will call it a solo home run for Addison Barger. For Barger, his 3rd of the season, a rocket on a line out to center. You'd imagine the umpires will take a look. A.J. Hinch going to talk to them, but for now, it's 4-3.
Well, Javi Baez was adamant that that was not a home run, and I tend to agree with him. It looked like it hit off the very top of that wall. The umpires are going to have a look.
We're going to have a crew chief review for potential home run. The call on the field was home run.
So a crew chief review. This is not a Detroit challenge. They would not lose anything in terms of losing a challenge if this didn't go their way.
This will be an easy review either way. It just hit off the top of the wall.
Yeah, it didn't go out. It's hard to tell out there because other than the line right at the top of the wall, which is light blue, most of the fence is a darker blue. So is the wall right behind it. So sometimes it hits that wall, bounces back. Thought maybe it hit the top of the wall and then hit the wall behind the fence, but no, it just hit the top corner and rolled back in. That's not going to be a home run.
No, this will be easy.
It's almost as close as you can get to homering without homering. And I think we're about to get the call.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner will be placed at second base.
Frustration understandable. Definitely not a home run. But a great hit from Addison Barger nonetheless. His 2nd hit today and 3rd time aboard. It's his 7th double of the year.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat really well. It was a tough sinker, an elevated sinker, and he just stayed right on it, used the big part of the ball field, and was about 2 inches away from a home run.
So the tying run up to the plate now. Miles Straw hitting for Nathan Lucas. We found out in between innings what happened with Lucas exiting the game early. First pitch to Straw, called a strike 0-1. Straw came in defensively in the top half, Blue Jays have put out online that Lucas left the game with a migraine. 0-1. Bounced. Good backhanded stop by Dingler, keeping Barger at second. That's important with one out. If Barger can advance, then Straw would just need a fly ball to bring him in. Four-2 Tigers. Runner on second. One out. Bottom of the seventh. Hanafy checks second base. Kicks and offers. Down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Another fastball in the dirt from Hanafy. A good stop from Dingler back there. Like you said, it's important to keep that runner at second base because you need a base hit to score him from second base. If he gets to third base, a lot of different ways that he can score.
Right on right, the 2-1 pitch. Bounced right side, past the reach of Torkelson down the right field line. Barger around third. He'll score. RBI single, Miles Straw. It's a 1-run game. 4-3 Tigers in the seventh.
How about that base hit from Miles Straw? Spencer Torkelson was playing off the line down that first baseline. And Miles Straw, it almost looked like he tried to do that. Knew that hole was over there. And executed to perfection. A big run for the Blue Jays.
Going to be a mound visit right now. One thing, honestly, I can never understand is if you're going to shift your defense to the pull side, why you would throw him all pitches away. It seems like those two game plans, and this is not unique to the Tigers. You see it all the time. The defensive alignment and the pitching plan don't always sync up. They gave him that opportunity to go the other way.
I've wondered that for a long time, and I was still pitching when the shift was just coming into play, and there was no automated system where the infielders could hear what we were calling. So my question was always, hey, we're working against each other right now. I'm throwing a fastball away or a sinker away or a slider away, and you guys are shifted to the pull side. That makes no sense at all.
Works for the Blue Jays. Straw on first, 1 out. Pitch to Michael Stefanik. Straw takes off. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Throw down to second. Not in time. Miles Straw with a head-first dive under the tag. It tailed a little bit up into the right from Dingler. And for now, Straw is safe with his 3rd stolen base of the year.
Well, Gleyber Torres looked into that Tigers dugout and said maybe.
And they will challenge.
Yeah. I don't think they got him.
Dylan Dingler has been one of the better defensive catchers in baseball. It's close.
I don't think it's close enough. It's close, but I don't think it's close enough. We're getting a good view right here.
The 40 challenge and the safe call at second.
I tend to agree.
He might be out.
But he might be out. I tend to agree that it might be too close to overturn. I think it's too close to overturn.
So the problem, and I might be grasping at straws here, but there's a lot of dirt between his hands, flying everywhere, and the base, so you can't really see when he touches the base. Again, the call on the field is safe.
Problem
so
for the
safe.
Tigers, that is.
Right.
No, I totally agree. A bunch of dirt getting kicked up. You can't really see that bright blue batting glove on his left hand that clearly. He might have been safe anyway, too. I'm not sure 100% that he's out, and if the umpires feel that way, they have to stick with the call.
This is my hardest call of the year.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Flip a coin for me.
I think because you're saying that, it probably stands. You need to be 100% sure. If it stands, it's runner on second, 1 out. That would bring the tying run into scoring position for the Blue Jays. If it's overturned, that's massive. That would make it 2 outs and the base is empty. I also think there's a good chance, by the way, that was a hit and run. Not guaranteed, but Stefanik swung at the pitch. He's the kind of contact ground ball hitter you would run hit and runs with, but he swung and missed.
You can't tell when he touches the bag. Like we said, there's a lot of dirt being kicked up from his glove trying to touch second base. Again, I could be grasping at straws here. We don't know. But the longer it takes, the more I tend to think that the call will stand on the field.
You would think, logically, that's how it should work. If they don't know for sure, so they have to think about it for a long time, eventually you just have to settle that you don't know. I think we're about to hear.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. The report to lead this out.
Probably a call that would have stood either way if it was called safe or out on the field. The call was safe on the field. A nervous 2 thumbs up and a smile from Straw back to the Blue Jays dugout. Maybe he doesn't think he got in there, but he'll get a third stolen base. It's an 0-1 count on Michael Stefanik, and a single to the outfield likely ties this game. 4-3 Tigers, 1 out, bottom 7. A look at second in the pitch. Down and away, ball 1.
And keep in mind, Stefanik doesn't have a ton of big league time, but he's a very good contact hitter.
Already has a single today. He's 1 for 2. His 1 out was a warning track flyout to left center. The 1-1. Chopped away, foul. Kind of a 3/4 swing as he beat that fastball into the ground off to the right. 1-2. Blue Jays with a big gamble starting the tying run. They got the stolen base after review. And now Straw leading off second. 1 out, the 1-2. Low, good take as Stefanik bent the knees and just missed that slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. An undrafted free agent signing with the Angels. Stefanik in his first start with the Blue Jays. Swings at the 2-2, bounces it softly to third. High hop, fielded McKinstry, rifles over to first for the out. And Straw stays put at second, 2 down.
Good job from Miles Straw staying at second base. Zach McKinstry fielded that ball, took a look at him, and threw to first base. I think if Miles Straw goes on that play, there's a chance that he could make it to third base, and McKinstry doesn't really try to tag him. But that's a big run out there. You don't want to risk that.
And you probably score, especially now with 2 outs, on any single to the outfield. Jonathan Clase is up. Straw on second. The pitch. Rolled over toward first base. Fielded Torkelson. He's going to race Clase to the bag, and he slides in to beat him there and end the inning. The Blue Jays get a run after the Barger double, an RBI single by Miles Straw, but the tying run is left on second. It's 4-3 Tigers. We head to the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Sports are all about moments.
One of the most incredible, miraculous finishes we have ever seen.
And you can hear them all.
He scores! Alex Ovechkin! There's a new goal-scoring champion!
As they happen.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani, a sayonara swing!
Live in the moment.
Rory McIlroy on his knees. He's won the Masters.
With live sports on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on Sirius XM Channel 89 and every morning on the Sirius XM app.
Let the games begin. On Sirius XM, you get all the sports play-by-play you want and all the live sports talk you need. It's always a home game when you listen to the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB on the Sirius XM app.
How good is that?
We fuel your fandom with NASCAR, the biggest college games, PGA, and soccer. And when news breaks, hear instant reaction.
We got a big developing story out of Cincinnati.
The Sirius XM app. Everything a sports fan needs, all in one place.
Blue Jays fans, no matter where you are, you won't miss a pitch with the SiriusXM app. Hear every game all season long. Download the SiriusXM app and search Blue Jays.
Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, in the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. New pitcher for the Blue Jays, Chad Green, deals to Dylan Dingler. And the first pitch of the 8th hit deep, but foul off to the right, out of play, 0-1. 4-3, the Tigers lead the Blue Jays. Toronto chipped away at the deficit with a Miles Straw RBI single in the 7th. Tigers led at one point 4-0, but this has become a tense game. Green's 0-1. Outside. Chad Green working on 3 consecutive scoreless appearances over 3 2/3 innings. Only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk in that time. Overall, this is his 20th outing of the year. 1-1 pitch, again hit deep down the right side, and again fading foul into the seats. It's 1-2. In the 19 previous outings, Green with a 3.38 ERA over 18 2/3 innings pitched.
We've seen a lot more sliders from Chad Green in maybe the last 10 days or so, shying away from that fastball a little bit.
1-2. Down and away, 2-2. I went to ask him about that today, and he told me it's not something necessarily premeditated, but he had noticed that certain hitters were just sitting on his fastball. That was the only thing that they were worried about. So he figured, hey, if all you're going to look for is the fastball, I'm just going to keep throwing you sliders until you respect it.
Makes sense.
2-2. Outside, 3-2. I talked to him a bit about that Zach Neto battle he had in Anaheim. That was the one I think he threw 7 sliders in a row to strike him out. And he said, you're not planning on that, but he keeps thinking a fastball is coming, so you keep going to the slider. 3-2. Fouled away. That was a slider, elevated. Still a full count.
And that was a situation in a ball game where it allowed the reliever or the pitcher to throw the seven sliders. It was a situation where he could throw those 7, so why not throw the 7? It's kind of strange, but
3-2. Popped up back of second. Stefanik backpedaling onto the center field turf. Makes the catch. A slider to get him out. There's 1 down.
He threw a lot of sliders in that at-bat, too. It's almost like we're inside of his head now. Now we know exactly what he's thinking. Good job from you talking to him about that, because I was wondering that. Why is he throwing so many sliders now?
Yeah, it's a pitch that, I'm not sure it's going to take over as the lead pitch over the fastball, but you just change the scouting reports a little bit. You start throwing it more. Pitch to Trey Sweeney. Fastball called a ball. That's a great pitch. Had the outside edge, but it's 1-0.
Maybe Trey Sweeney's thinking, wow, he does have a fastball.
1-0. Hit high in the air, left field. Clase jogging back onto the warning track near the corner. Makes the catch. 2 down. Maybe 3 feet from that wall, but just stayed in the yard. And now Chad Green trying to finish off the inning will face Javier Baez.
You talked about this in Javi Baez's last at-bat, is he still has a pretty high strikeout rate, high swing and miss guy, so you might not want to throw something in the heart of the plate here, especially with 2 outs.
The pitch. Called strike. Perfect fastball on the corner. You go up 0-1, you probably don't throw another pitch in the zone unless he forces you. 0-1. Swing and a high fly ball way back to left field and way out of here. Deep into the first deck in left center field. It's a solo home run for Javier Baez on a sinker that was up and in. And Baez hits his 6th of the year, 5-3 Tigers.
And I don't believe that Chad Green missed his spot. They were trying to elevate with a fastball there, maybe hoping that Javi Baez was thinking slider, but it looked like Javi Baez was guessing fastball. He was all over that pitch at the top of the strike zone.
He is just a different guy this year than he's been the last 3. He's the same guy he was in the early portion of his career, and that's huge for the Tigers. 5-3 Detroit, 2 outs top of the 8th. Kerry Carpenter fouls back a fastball, 0-1.
But like you said, that is still too good of a pitch, especially with 1 strike on a guy that swings and misses a lot. Like Javi Baez, you have to bounce something. You have to throw a fastball up way out of the strike zone, and he'll probably swing at it.
The 0-1. Popped up foul, 0-2.
I can almost guarantee that Chad Green will watch that on the iPad when he gets back to the dugout or back into the clubhouse and think, I should have gone either up with that fastball.
0-2, just down low. Missed off the plate, down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Or I should have bounced something. And I don't think we're on an island thinking like that.
Still a close game, but 5-3 after the Bias homer. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Through the slider low, but a solo home run for the Tigers in this inning gets their lead back to 2. 5-3 for Detroit, middle of the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Find your location at timbermart.ca.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL free topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Go to pizzapizza.ca. Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. For our participating location, visit timbermart.ca.
It's time to kickstart spring at TSC. Discover top brands to live it up outdoors. Shop gardening tools, patio lights, furniture, and more. And split purchases into 6 interest-free easy pay payments. We got what you need to get your green thumbs going. Light up your nights. Have some fun. Go on a camping adventure with Coleman. Crank up your playlist with Bose. And show everyone why you're the grill master with Weber. Make the most of spring. Shop now at tsc.ca. Exciting offers every day.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Middle lane fastball, but he puts it by Cruz. 2 down.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Home half of the 8th inning. 5-3. The Tigers lead after Javier Baez goes yard in the top of the 8th. And now a new pitcher for Detroit, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. It's the former Yankee Tommy Kahnle in the game. The right-hander who throws about as many changeups as anyone takes over with the top of the order coming up for the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero, and Dalton Varsho will hit this inning. 1 for 3 day for Bo with a double. The pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. Bichette swinging a little bigger these days, has 10 extra base hits in his last 16 games, including today. Kahnle's 1-0. Swing and a high fly ball. Deep left field, near the pole. It's way gone! A second deck blast down the left field line for Bo Bichette, his 4th of the season, and it's 5-4 for the Tigers in the 8th.
Well, we've been waiting for that power. That power has always been in there. He just hasn't gotten under the baseball like he did right there. A little hanging changeup, and Bo Bichette didn't miss it. He was all over it.
He almost got too far under that baseball. He got so far under it. Looked at the roof before he dropped into the second deck, and again, it's a 1-run game. There's an object on the field. Guerrero was pointing out, for a moment I thought he was calling his shot, but no, it's something dropping down in center field. So
I think it looked like one of those night mode hats that they gave away today.
Javi Baez didn't give it back to a fan. He dumped it over the wall where no one is sitting. 5-4 game. Buzz in the crowd here at Rogers Center. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the tying run. Kahnle kicks and offers. Called strike. That was the rare four-seamer from Tommy Kahnle, who's thrown his changeup about 85% of the time this year. The 0-1. Bounce to the right side off the end of the bat. Picked up Torres, throws over to first. 1 out.
Well, Kahnle's changeup has always been pretty good, but he just doesn't have the fastball that he used to have. When he was at the Yankees, he would sit probably 94 to 96 miles an hour with that fastball. And that last fastball he threw to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was 91 miles an hour. So there's a big drop-off with that fastball.
That's part of the reason, as his career's gone on, he's gone further and further toward his changeup and backed off of his heater. Pitch to Dalton Varsho. Called strike.
It's a good one, though. It really is.
It's one of those changeups that has splitter movement, kind of like when Trevor Richards was at his best for the Blue Jays. 0-1. Fouled off. 0-2.
And then when he does throw that fastball, his 91, 92, 93 seems like 96, 97, 98 because batters are so used to that 85-mile-an-hour changeup.
He's a vet at this point. Canely debuting with Colorado in 2014. First year in Detroit. His 0-2 in the dirt. Signed a 1-year, $7.75 million contract to join the Tigers after pitching to a career-best 2.11 ERA in 50 games with the Yankees last year. 5-4 game, the 1-2. Popped up foul into the seats. A bit of a quick pitch. Kind of a slide step there out of nowhere for Canely to speed up Varsho.
Slide step changeup is a really good pitch.
I was going to say, what a genius move. You speed him up just to slow him down. 1-2 again. Check swing, and that pitch is outside. Varsho looked all sorts of in between, but he held up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's difficult to get on top of the baseball when you slide step, so that's why pitchers tend to not do that, but obviously Tommy Canley's good at it.
5-4, 1 out, base is empty. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. On a good change that faded away outside. There are 2 down.
That's gross. I mean, you can see why he throws that thing almost 85% of the time. It has a ton of movement on it, a ton of drop, almost looks like a split finger.
2 outs, Blue Jays trailing 5-4 because of Bo Bichette's solo home run. Canely set below the belt, kicks and offers. George Springer takes down an away ball 1. These two have surprisingly only faced each other once. And Canely got Springer to ground out in 2023. 1-0. Outside and low, 2-0. Springer hitless today, 0 for 3, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Stands up tall from the right side and awaits a 2-0. At the knees, called strike. Just clipped the outside corner as well, 2-1. A breath from Canely. The righty's 2-1. Fastball on the inner third, 2-2.
That fastball seems so quick when he only throws it really 15% of the time. You can see how the reaction from George Springer, it was almost like it was 5 miles an hour faster.
2-2. Low ball 3, went back to the change, barely missed. It's a gutsy take by Springer. Alejandro Kirk is on deck. Bases are empty. 5-4 Tigers. 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. Canely set. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on a change to end the inning. The Blue Jays inch closer, though. They trail by 1 again thanks to Bo Bichette's solo home run. 5-4 is the score in favor of Detroit. We go to the 9th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From backstage to the main stage. The Bills will make you dance. The Welcome to Rockville Music Festival comes to you
Direct from Daytona.
with an exclusive limited engagement channel.
Welcome to Rockville. Rockville Radio.
Listen now in the SiriusXM app.
Welcome to Rockville is madness.
Including live festival coverage now throughout the weekend on Octane, Channel 37.
So thankful for SiriusXM hooking everybody up.
Thanks, Octane.
Baseball is back.
It's former general manager Jim Duquette, and every Sunday on the front office, we have you covered on everything happening across Major League Baseball.
That's right, Duke. It's former big league GM Jim Bowden. Injuries, extensions, promotions, demotions, and trades. We'll have you covered on all the news.
We'll bring you the front office perspective as the season heats up.
Front Office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
No one brings you the passion of the beautiful game quite like SiriusXM FC.
Would you believe this?
Whether it's live matches from the EPL, MLS, the NWSL, or the UEFA Champions League.
This is sensational!
Or live talk shows featuring the sport's most entertaining experts.
You don't get to say, I don't feel like making that play right now. You make the play.
It's the world of soccer at your fingertips.
How mouth-watering is that?
SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car, and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
In season or out of season, the number one place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
The Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. 5-4. The Tigers lead the Blue Jays in the series opener. It's the 9th inning in downtown Toronto. Pitching change for Toronto, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 18th appearance for the right-hander Yariel Rodriguez. Cuban reliever has a 4.05 ERA. Recently, though, he's pitching much better than even those numbers would suggest.
Yeah, and I think, a lot, along with other guys in this on this staff and in this rotation, the biggest thing is just throwing strike one. Throwing strikes with that fastball, commanding the fastball, and he's done a good job of that over the last couple of weeks.
Getting higher leverage spots, it feels like, each time he comes into a game. He'll face Gleyber Torres. Righty's offering. Fouled back. Big hack there from the former Yankee Torres. 0-1. There you go. Strike one thrown by Rodriguez.
Yeah, more importantly, just strike one, filling up that strike zone. Just like he's done over his last 3 or 4 outings.
Four-seamer, sinker, slider, and splitter for the righty, who takes a breath, kicks, and offers. Missed upstairs at 97. It'll be Justin Henry Malloy and Riley Green due up after the leadoff hitter this inning, Gleyber Torres. Still 3 bats on A.J. Hinch's bench if he wants to go to them. The 1-1. Called strike, 1-2. Rodriguez rocks and offers. Misses down and away through the slider off the plate outside. And that'll make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Torres 1 for 4. Open stance right side. Twirling the bat around above his head. Now rests it on his shoulder. 2-2. Drilled left field, sinking toward the wall, and one hops into the fence. Fielded Clase. Torres trying for second. Here comes the throw. They got him! What a play. Jonathan Clase fielding it off the fence and delivering it to second with perfection. 1 down.
What an absolute seed from Clase. Fields that ball off the wall perfectly. And not only does he throw a strike, but that ball was on a line to second base. What a big out for this team.
Michael Stefanik applied the tag. It was just in time, and now the pitch to Justin Henry Malloy. Misses inside, ball 1. The difference between 1 out, nobody on, and a runner on second, no outs, is massive, especially in this 1-run game. 5-4, top of the 9th, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Dropped the arm angle down a little bit there as he delivered the slider. And you can see right there, there's still some refinement for Jonathan Clase, certainly, but when you make plays like that, the loud skills and tools that he has. Now the 1-1 clips the inner edge at 96, and Rodriguez is ahead of Malloy, 1-2.
A little bit raw. We've talked about
sure.
it a little bit. He's a little bit raw, and I think that'll make a manager pull his hair out from time to time, but then you see something like that, and you remember that If it all comes together, he's a pretty solid player.
The 1-2. Hit high in the air to left. Clase hunched over, moves to his right, makes the catch. That one a bit of an easier play for him. 2 down. And in his defense, a lot younger than a lot of the guys who are being called up to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I think we forget that. We've talked about his age a couple of times already this season. Should you remember that, though?
It does and doesn't matter.
Right.
It matters for him, but for the team overall, obviously, they're not taking that into account. But Clase turning 23 in a week. 2 outs, pitch to Riley Green. Outside, ball 1.
He's a lot like, a different profile, obviously, but he's a lot like Addison Barger when he first came up, where there were just flashes of brilliance, and then there would be long stretches of really nothing.
1-0. Swing and a miss. That's a great splitter dropping off the table for Rodriguez. Green's bat over top of it. It's 1-1.
Yeah, his stuff's looking pretty good. A lot like his last 3 or 4 outings. Just really solid, filling up the strike zone.
He curls back and offers. That one hit high in the air to left. Clase ranging toward that high sidewall. It drops foul into the seats. 1-2. 2 outs in the top of the ninth. 5-4 Detroit. This ninth inning is brought to you by new pizza from Pizza Pizza. Get a huge 18-inch double XL 3-topping pizza for just $19.99. Bigger slices, bigger bites, only at Pizza Pizza. Actually Canadian. One-two count, 2 outs. Rodriguez set at the bell. He rocks back and fires. Misses up top. Reached for a little extra there. It was 97, but nowhere close. Settling on the hill again. Rodriguez looks to the plate. His 2-2 to Green. Just outside, ball 3. Through the splitter. I think he wasn't to throw a strike. I think he was trying to throw it away right there, but Green didn't offer.
Actually a pretty good take from Riley Green. It wasn't a terrible pitch. Started in the strike zone. That's the biggest thing.
The 3-2. Down and in, ball 4. A 2-out walk issued to Green.
Obviously, you have to be careful to Riley Green. He's probably the most powerful hitter in this lineup for the Detroit Tigers, so I don't disagree with the pitch selection there, but you got to throw a strike.
If Green isn't the most powerful hitter on the team, this guy is. Spencer Torkelson up, 2 outs. Top of the ninth, 5-4 for the Tigers. The pitch. Fastball just outside at 96, ball 1. Torkelson's been more patient than powerful so far in this game. He's 0 for 2. He does have a walk, and he's been hit by a pitch, so he's been on twice. The 1-0. Swing and a high fly ball deep right. Going back, Miles Straw stops just in front of the track, makes the catch, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. Tigers 5, Blue Jays 4. Alejandro Kirk leading off. When we come back, you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Of all the things that Timber Mart can lend a hand to build, community ranks among the most important. And with the Timber Mart Local Leaders Initiative, we strive to recognize those dedicated to making their hometowns a better place to live, work, and play. From now to June 25th, you can vote to select our grand prize winner. They'll receive a $10,000 grant to support their outstanding initiative as Timber Mart's Local Leader of the Year. To vote, visit local-leaders.com. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Tomorrow on Sportsnet, Hockey Central sets up a huge Game 6.
All systems go. It's full throttle.
After Winnipeg stole the show at home.
The front scores! What a gutsy performance by the Winnipeg Jets.
It's back to Texas.
We'll see you Saturday night.
Can the Jets maintain their momentum and force Game 7?
Now they've got to go on and slay the Dragon in Dallas. This is playoff hockey. Wow.
The Stanley Cup playoffs. Watch on Sportsnet or stream on Sportsnet Plus.
Hey, this is Chad Green. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you. The Blue Jays trail the Tigers 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning at the Rogers Center. We will have Jays talk tonight. I will have the post-game show, but it will not be live. We'll have a podcast-only edition of the show as once we have concluded this game, we will get over as soon as possible to the third period of Leafs-Panthers down in Sunrise, Florida. Joe Bone and Jim Ralph are on the call right now for Game 6. And right now, third period just about to get back underway. Zeros in the third on 680 News and Sportsnet.ca/590. Blue Jays Baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. The Blue Jays trail the Tigers 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning at the Rogers Center. Here are Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue with the call.
Thank you very much, Joe. Dramatic game here in downtown Toronto. The Blue Jays at one point trailed 4-0 to the Tigers, but as we go to the bottom of the 9th, it's 5-4 for Detroit. Pitching change for A.J. Hinch in Detroit is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Bo Brisky out on the mound looking to close this game. He has struggled this year, but Hinch calls on him in this spot. 12 appearances for the right-hander, a 7.11 ERA. His first opponent is Alejandro Kirk, and he misses low. Ball one. Kirk, Barger, Straw due up this inning for the Blue Jays. Clement, Santander, Heineman on the bench. The 1-0. Fouled off the mask of Dingler. It bounces away off the netting to the left. 1-1.
Alejandro Kirk trying to tie this game up with one swing. Was all over that pitch from Brisky right down the middle.
Well, we've seen some big moments already this year from Kirk. He had that 3-run eventual game-winning homer over the Rays in the last series. Had a walk-off hit against the Red Sox. 1-1. Called a strike. 1-2. But here, Brisky ahead of Alejandro Kirk. Mid to high 90s four-seamer for the righty. A changeup, a sinker, and a slider as well. Only pitched 12 times due to an IL stint with a right ankle injury. 1-2 pitch, skips to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit the injured list on April 18th. Only returned on May 3rd. And in his last 2 outings, he's been scored on. Gave up 2 runs, one of them earned to Boston on the 13th in 1 inning. Gave up 2 runs in 2 innings to Texas on the 11th. Two. Just outside at 98.
How about that take from Alejandro Kirk? What an eye up there. That was about a half a ball off the plate outside.
Now a full count because of it. The 3-2. Swing and a line drive center field. Baez ranging to left center makes the catch. Good contact, but 1 out.
Alejandro hit that thing on the screws. Didn't get underneath it enough and hit it right to Javi Baez in center field for the easy out.
Yeah, he hit it 110 miles an hour, which is about as hard as you'll ever see him hit it. But it just kept carrying on a line out to Baez. So the Blue Jays still looking to either get that tying run aboard or, hey, with Barger up, maybe tie the game on 1 swing.
Why not?
Barger 2 for 2, a double, a single, and a walk today. He nearly homered. His double hit the top of the fence. The pitch. Off the end of the bat, a bouncer back to the mound. Fielded there by Brisky, who throws on to first. And the Blue Jays down to their last hope here. 2 outs and the bases empty.
That's a tough pitch when a pitcher throws 96 to 98 miles an hour and then he flips in that first pitch changeup. You think it's a fastball, you think it's right down the middle, and then it drops below that strike zone. It's almost unfair.
Miles Straw batting here with the game on the line. The Blue Jays need him to reach by hook or crook here. Down 5-4, 2 outs and the bases empty. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 97 elevated, beats him for strike 1. Toronto has scored 4 of the last 5 runs, but fell in an early hole. 0-1. Bounce to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. They were down 4-0 in the 5th when Bowden Francis was taken out of the game. And also If the Tigers hold on, a lot of credit will go to Javier Baez, who homered in the 8th inning to turn a 4-3 game into a 5-3 game. It's now 5-4 for Detroit. 2 outs, bottom 9, the 1-1. Hit away foul to the right. Into the seats, 1-2, and the Blue Jays down to their final strike. $23,146 here at Rogers Center. Nervously watching Miles Straw. The Blue Jays looking to come back. Down 5-4 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. The 1-2 pitch. Chopped foul left side, and the game continues. A walk to the back of the hill for Brisky. Put in a big spot by his manager, A.J. Hinch, a strike away from a save. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a liner out to center. Baez charging, slides, and it gets down for a base hit. Hit the glove of Baez, but by fractions of an inch, the Blue Jays remain alive thanks to a 2-out single to center by Miles Straw.
Well, the Blue Jays have to take advantage of that right now. It was kind of an awkward attempt from a Javi Baez out there in center field. Obviously, this is his first season in center field. Got to that baseball in a roundabout way. I don't know if he should have made that catch or not, but a big break for the Blue Jays nonetheless.
A.J. Hinch goes out to the mound and almost like a football huddle, has one arm around Dylan Dingler, one around Brisky, with the infield forming a circle on the mound. They don't have anyone up. If anything, that's just a vote of confidence and maybe a little breather that Hinch is providing Brisky. Tying run on first in Miles Straw. Winning run comes to the plate in the form of Michael Stefanik. His first start as a Blue Jay. He's got 1 hit today. He's 1 for 3. Brisky peeks over at first. And the pitch to Straw. Swing and a miss. Pardon me, Stefanik whiffs on that one, 0-1. Ernie Clement is on deck. Looks like he'll hit for Jonathan Clase if the game continues. 5-4 Tigers. Runner on first, 2 down, bottom 9. Step off, throw to first, and easily Straw gets back in with a head-first dive. Lots of room on the right side of the infield for Stefanik if he can roll a ball through there. Second baseman Torres up the middle. Torkelson holding on Straw. 0-1. Called strike, and for the second time the Blue Jays go down to their final strike here. It's 0-2. Brisky looks over at first and sets at his chest. With 2 down, the 0-2. High, way high, taken immediately by Straw. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Almost right after that pitch left the hand, Stefanik just brought the bat back to him, looked down to the ground, didn't even think about it. Ready to go again. A long look in the 1-2. Hit on the ground left side, through the hole, a base hit into left field. Straw up to second. Stefanik stops at first. Back-to-back 2-out singles for the Blue Jays. The winning run is on base with the tying run in scoring position.
Stefanik is a professional hitter. He's hitting .319 this year in AAA, at .384 last year, and .365 the year before. Finds the hole there in a big spot. I'm not surprised.
So 2 on, 2 out, and in a pinch hit spot, Ernie Clement enters the game for Jonathan Clase. Speed on the base path. Straw on second, Stefanik on first. Brisky looks back at second and deals home. Fouled off, 0-1. Sixth time that Ernie Clement is pinch hitting this year. 3 for 5 with a walk. 0-1. Bounce off the mound, through the legs of Brisky. He picks it up, throws on to first. And that will do it for the game. Just blocked it between the legs. The Blue Jays come close, but they lose 5-4 on a day, Chris, where they weren't awful on either side of the ball, pitching or hitting, but they just weren't good enough in both facets.
Yeah, and I think they ran up against a guy in Jack Flaherty that was really good. The Blue Jays looked good offensively in terms of their approach and some pitches that they took, but Jack Flaherty was much better today than he has been for the majority of the season, and I think that's the reason why the Detroit Tigers came out on top today.
5-4, the final score in favor of Detroit. The Tigers move to 30-15 with the win. The Blue Jays 21-23 with the loss. Jack Flaherty picks up the win today to go to 2-5. Bowden Francis with the loss is now 2-6. And the save, although it got a little dicey, goes to Bo Brisky, his first of the year. Appreciate you tuning in. For our technical directors, Derek Brandeo and Tom Young, our producer, Nick Blackmore, our host, Show Ali, my partner, Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. We'll be back tomorrow with Game 2 of this series, a 3 p.m. Eastern first pitch. But we're going to step aside, and then Show Ali will usher you over to Maple Leafs and Panthers in just a moment. Final score, 5-4 Detroit. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Lights up, let's go to Junior J Sundays. It's family fun throughout the ballpark with games and activities that your squad will never forget.
Feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Called strike 3, change up at the knees, and there's nothing you can do about that pitch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Baseball Control, everyone. Show Ali with you. A 5-4 Blue Jays loss. The Jays now 21-23 on the season. So here's the game plan for tonight. We will do Jays Talk Classic, as I like to call it. But as we mentioned earlier, it will not be live. We will do a proper Jays Talk that will be available for the podcast crowd. So please, in about an hour or so, check out your favorite podcast app, and I will have that uploaded. Because we are doing it on the podcast feed tonight, please feel free to send your text, as always, to 590-590, name and location. That is the People's Text line. It is always open. Standard data and messaging rates may apply. We'll see how many texts we get on a night we are in action. The Leafs are in action. We will get back to taking your calls on a regular edition of the postgame show tomorrow. Tonight, I will read all of your texts again, 590-590 on the podcast feed. We'll hear from John Schneider and others as well. But let's take a quick break. And on the other side, we will check out the Bet365 standings update, take a look around the American League East very quickly, and then get you over to the call of Leafs-Panthers Game 6. Joe Bone and Jim Ralph await. You're listening to a very quick edition of Jays Talk Light. Show Ali with you on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL free topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Go to pizzapizza.ca.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Tomorrow on Sportsnet, Hockey Central sets up a huge Game 6.
All systems go. It's full throttle.
After Winnipeg stole the show at home.
The front scores! What a gutsy performance by the Winnipeg Jets.
It's back to Texas.
We'll see you Saturday night.
Can the Jets maintain their momentum and force Game 7?
Now they've got to go out and slay the Dragon in Dallas. This is playoff hockey. Wow.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs. Watch on Sportsnet or stream on Sportsnet Plus.
Which Looney Dogger are you? Do you approach Tuesdays with swagger and style? You could be a Rizzy Glizzy. Maybe you're an architect stacking your Looney Dogs up high. Do you walk into the ballpark with the confidence of an MVD? Then you're the most valuable dogger. This season at Rogers Center, every Tuesday home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. No matter which Looney Dogger you are, you'll have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around the ballpark. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Every Tuesday home game. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Siding isn't just siding. It's your home's first impression and first line of defense. That's why pros reach for James Hardy, the name that built its reputation one rugged, good-looking board at a time. Engineered to stand up to Canada's wildest weather, designed to stand out on any street, and always priced right at Timber Mart. So when the job calls for smart, strong, and sharp, you'll know what to do. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Clement vacuums it up, throws to second one. Jimenez to first, double play.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to a very quick edition of Jays Talk Light on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Show Ali with you as the Jays lose 5-4 in Game 1 of 3 against the Tigers. They now fall to 21-23 on the season. Once again, for those awaiting Jays Talk Classic, it will come in an hour or so via podcast. Give me some time to record. We'll get one of those shows up there with your text and with some post-game sound as well. Again, you can send your text to 590-590. Name and location. That's the People's Text line, always open. Standard data and messaging rates may apply. Before we get you over to Leafs-Panthers Game 6, let's check out the Bet365 standings update. Bet365 is where you can bet on popular markets like hits, home runs, and total bases. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. So all but one game in the American League East have concluded. The Miami Marlins beating the Tampa Bay Rays 9-4. The Braves beating the Red Sox 4-2. We have our game, a 5-4 Blue Jays loss to the Tigers. And just minutes ago, the Yankees beating the Mets in Game 1 of the Subway Series. Juan Soto's return to the Bronx. Not that he had to go very far, but the Yankees beating the Mets 6-2 right now. The Baltimore Orioles have 2 runners on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. It is tied against the Nationals 3-3. So without the final in Baltimore at Camden Yards, here's how the rest of the division looks. The Yankees improved to 26-18. The Red Sox are 22-24. The Blue Jays are 21-23. They are the winning percentage for the Red Sox 478. The win percentage for the Blue Jays 477. The Rays are 20-24, and again, without this final, the Orioles still sitting at 15-27. That does it for us on Blue Jays Talk Light. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Hanwood and Woodstock, New Brunswick. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986. Protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Game 2 of this 3-game series will go tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the pregame show beginning at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific down at the Rogers Center. Jesse Rubinoff will be alongside me. He'll be along for Blue Jays Talk as well. Blue Jays Talk Classic, I should say, tomorrow. On Sunday, Daniele Franceschi will be alongside for pre and post. Blair and Barker, after the long weekend, will be back on Tuesday. All right, with tonight's game in the books at the Rogers Center, we now shift our focus to the Leafs. They are leading 1-0 with about 8.5 minutes to go in the third period. Game 6 in Sunrise, Florida. Let's join the third period in progress. Here are the great Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph with the call.
Major League Play-by-Play is now on SiriusXM Radio and online with the SiriusXM app.
Why do I love calling this game?
Calling this game?
Calling this game?
Calling this game.
Why do I love calling this game? It's because I get a chance to bring some joy into people's lives.
Anything can happen on a baseball field.
We've got a new game.
It's perfectly unscripted theater.
Everybody on their feet. Because you never know what you're going to see on a given day.
Vladimir Guerrero.